London. Welcome to the Woolwich Works. Well, right now inside this building, we've got 18 fighters, 8 nations, and indeed 1 ring. Well, before this evening's out, we're going to have a new world champion as well. Welcome to the Woolwich Works once again to the new home of the future of striking sports. This is 8 Strikes. And you ask what's in store tonight? Let's begin here. We'll take a look at the fight card momentarily. Lies Marinko, 67 kilograms, a Raja dominant World Series pedigree for more. And at the famous Lumpini Crawley gym since the age of 7 is the opposition. While we talk about Marinko, he's promised a knockout. That's what's going down here. Josh Gravesande against AJ Durrani. One to watch out for there, too. We're talking about the unbeaten juggernaut. He knocked out a former WBC title challenger in this building in March, our last show, against a man who will tell you to throw away those records in the bin. Moving along, we have to talk about Emma Usher against Lara Fernandez. That's a big one to watch out for. The only Irish woman ever ranked by the WBC against the Spanish world champ. She's fought for 1, competed on the world title scene there, and of course, a very fun outing in your future. But the co-main event of the evening is a showcase. It is the only fight tonight under 8 Strikes rules. 4-ounce gloves, 5-second clinch, maximum action by design. Rio Johnson, the first protagonist, 7-0. A unique and very relentless pressure, but he's taken on Italy's Iceman. Thristan Massobrio, a former world top 20 who is coming off a very narrow loss in our previous main event here in March. He'll be on the comeback trail. Fast forward to the main event of the evening. We mentioned it at the top. Featherweight world title, Mighty Mo Abdurrahman, 53 wins. Titles in 2 disciplines, Glory, China, Japan. Old school experience and some new school flair. He'll be fighting in London with, of course, a Southampton crowd for the very first time tonight. And across the ring, a stranger with championship paperwork. Francis Ilias Kravi, 58 fights of the European schooling. He is promising London will remember his name this evening. That is 5 rounds in the main event. That's the menu, ladies and gentlemen. Before anyone touches gloves tonight, let's meet the people who built this thing. Down on the floor is Amber Jones alongside the founder of 8 Strikes, Charlie Herdman, and board member and BKB founder, Jim Freeman. Amber, what is going on?
We are so excited. As Charlie always says, it's going to be a night on violence. So Charlie, talk us through that 8 Strikes rule set.
Yeah, absolutely. It's made for violence. It's made for high action per minute. And it's made to keep you on the seat. It's fast paced. There's lots of knockouts. And in a split of a second, the fight can completely change.
Anything can happen. Anything could happen tonight. Obviously, we have the showcase of those 4-ounce gloves tonight as well. Jim, obviously, you are involved with some higher level promotions. What are you most excited about for tonight? Obviously, we've got a huge event.
I'm really excited to see the journey of this. I believe this is going to be one of the next big combat sports. To be involved at the start is really good for me. I'm just really interested with it. You know, 4-ounce gloves, lots of knockouts, fast and furious, some great fighters on the cards, a great production and setup. So, yeah, I'm really excited what the future holds.
Yeah, those 4-ounce gloves, obviously, everyone is going to be talking about it. I am so excited. And, of course, we have that introduction of the 8 Strikes rule set, too, as you mentioned. But what I'm most excited about is, of course, we have that World Championship title tonight. Charlie, talk me through that.
Absolutely. You got Mo Abdurrahman, probably one of the best fighters that the UK have produced in recent times. World champion in Muay Thai, world champion in kickboxing, and he's fighting Ilias Krafi, French-Moroccan, 3-time European WKU champion. That's going to be an awesome fight.
Amazing. And, of course, who are you most excited to see tonight, Jim?
I'm actually really excited about seeing Josh fight again. I saw him last time. He's full of action, fast and furious. But I think the real winners today are the fans. It's going to be a great card.
Yeah, and it's already starting to fill up in here. I am so excited to see what it's going to be like at full capacity tonight. Charlie, who are you most excited to see tonight?
Oh, it's got to be Rio Johnson versus Thristan Massobrio. That 4-ounce fight is going to be absolutely insane. We just saw Rio's brother, Indy fight. He brings the heat. Rio brings it even more. And with a great crowd behind us, that's going to be absolutely electric.
And we're going to throw it back to commentary now. Chris and Kieran, take the commentary.
Thank you very much, Amber. I'm standing alongside Kieran Shanahan. Now, the desk, we respectfully have our own opinion. And I'm not going to argue with this guy. We're talking about a kickboxing, Muay Thai, and lately boxing veteran. Kieran, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Chris. It's good to be here with you.
It's great to see you. Your thoughts on this evening so far? I think there's some great fights in our future.
There is, and a lot of these fighters I've actually watched fight personally myself, and they all bring a high explosive game to this promotion. So I think they've picked the card very wisely for the first 8 Strikes promotion, you know. So
And we looked up and down this card, and our kind of eyes fell on one fight in particular. There was a lot of debate, there was a lot of discussion, but like I said, I wasn't going to argue with you. Your fight of the evening to look forward to.
It has to be the Alfie Baker and Kenneth Cruz, because watching them two develop over the last few years, especially Alfie, he's a young gun, he's coming with a lot of power, he's hungry, he wants the best lads, he's made it known he wants the best lads out there. And he's proven that. He's bringing dogfights, he's putting on great technical displays. However, Kenneth, on the flip side, isn't old, but he's been there for a long time. And I see a new version of Kenneth, a stronger version of him now, bearing in mind he's been in the game a long time. And they both excite me because I feel right now it's the perfect time for both of them to show who wants it now in this UK rankings.
Now, I spoke to Kenneth backstage. He was looking very cool, very relaxed. He said, actually, I'm going to show some new dimensions tonight. We saw some great boxing and elbows in his previous fight. He actually talked about using leg kicks. What's your prediction there?
Yes, definitely. I mean, his last few fights, I've noticed his hands. I call him a Mexican-style boxer. He comes in very slick, but then he turns on the Thai boxing game with his clinch very well. The leg kick side, I did see it start coming out with a few of his last fights. But I'd love to see, I think I might see a little bit of a calf kick game come from him today. You know, because Alfie's that little bit longer. He's got a little bit more range. He might want to try and keep Kenneth away from that dangerous boxing. So we could see a little explosiveness with the calf kick tonight, I think.
And for Baker?
Baker, I think the best game for him is like he done with Alex Kenton before, is he kept it long, but he sliced his long elbows. He kept it long, and at the right time he sliced. He made it a bloodbath. So for me, that's what I'd be looking for from Alfie Baker tonight, to keep that long and then try and slice and make a big cut come up.
Should be one to watch out for. It's actually the second fight of the evening, so it'll be very early. Don't take a break, don't miss it. And I think a lot of really interesting stories about adversity. We've seen Kenneth come through huge punishment in fights and actually come back and win. And equally, of course, Baker's story, which we'll get to a little bit later, overcoming an eating disorder, moving up to 59 kilos, certainly a promising fight. Quickly before we go, which way is it going to happen?
I've got two outcomes. I think Kenneth could do him with a body shot. I think he could get him to the body and hurt him with the body. Likewise, I think Alfie's dangerous. He's cut most of his opponents recently in his fights. I think he could get the fight by a cut stoppage. So that's my two outcomes.
There you go. Chris, Kieran, we'll be with you all night long. We're getting ready to hand things up here to Ben Edwards momentarily with our first fight of the evening on the main card. Great to have your company here, of course, joining us. We'll be back in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Woolwich Works Arena for a night of combat action brought to you by 8 Strikes. There's going to be thrills, there's going to be spills, and plenty of knockouts. We're broadcasting live worldwide on TalkSport YouTube channel. The action is sponsored by Ascari Official Fight Gear. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome Karolina Kadzielawa.
Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Woolwich Works. The action rolls on here on the opening stanza at 8 Strikes. Full tie rules. There is a plethora of rules on the rule set tonight. Karolina Kadzielawa, the first fighter to make the walk tonight, unbeaten in 8 across 2 sports. Plenty of championship accolades and a software developer by day. Back to Ben Edwards.
And now, please welcome Mulley McCulloch.
And fighting orange, the veteran in this contest, Mulley McCulloch, recently fought and won at the Lumpini Stadium, a dream she has carried since starting Muay Thai. As she told us, an 8-year-old with just way too much energy. Again, many championship accolades. That's really the theme here tonight. WKU World Champ, WKO Southern Area Champ, and she even won the WBC British title under 18 at 14. Works as a full-time coach, of course, brought plenty of support here in the bleachers, teaching kids, adults. She chose coaching specifically not to leave the gym, she told us. No pressure, she said, in this fight, but I think the biggest difference might be my cardio and my gas tank. Mulley McCulloch is second in the ring. Back to Ben Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all set to go with our first televised bout of the evening, which is in the 60-kilogram division, fought over 5 rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. 8 fights, 8 wins from Bristol, Karolina Kadzielawa. And her opponent fighting out of the orange corner, 21 fights, 18 wins, 3 defeats from London, Mulley McCulloch.
So the final instructions here from the referee, of course, McCulloch is in the orange corner, the black corner for Kadzielawa. There's plenty of action here between this technical pairing. Kieran Shanahan, again, there are so many champions on this card. These two are no exception.
100%. What we have here is a very skilled Mulley with kicking, but on the flip side, Karolina is also just as skilled. As you can see, she's going to block a hell of a lot and kick back. But I feel like Mulley's approach here is to notice that block and is coming with them push kicks straight off the back. She's making it hard for Karolina to chop them legs, which she's well known for chopping them legs.
Karolina Kadzielawa, of course, a very balanced Muay Famur style. We mentioned it again in the opener. We do have 8 strikes rules here this evening, and we'll walk you through it as it happens. There are actually a few twists and turns. But this bout is going to be scored under the 8 strikes criteria, but it is traditional Thai, 5 rounds.
So traditional Thai 5 rounds, looking for effective shots. And this is what both ladies are actually doing really well right now. We're noticing now Karolina's starting to keep the distance from Mulley's pace. You did say Mulley's attribute was the gas tank that she's going to bring. And if she can hold this pace for 5 rounds, we'll be in for a very dominating fight. Because if Karolina can hold this pace, then we're in for a spectacular fight.
Well, certainly McCulloch, as you mentioned, very well drilled, very well schooled. And most importantly, looking to adapt mid-fight. That's what she said might be the big difference here.
100%. And like she's kicking a lot without punches at the minute. So what would be nice to see is she just throw a punch and then kick straight after and then punch again and try and basically distract Karolina from trying to come back with a kick in between that. There's not much clinching going on as of yet. They're not really engaging much knees. I think Mulley as well comes from a fairly kickboxing style background. There we go. See the kick-punch exchange now, because the hands are coming down with the leg to block, and then Mulley finds that gap to throw that left hook.
Good contact here from both, certainly working into the clinch, but like you said, charging the hands off the kicks has been an effective strategy so far. Kadzielawa said, look, I'd love it if they'd remember my name. I know it's a long and difficult name, but it might not be too difficult to ask if I can put in a highlight reel as she teeps upstairs. Great targeting, great coverage here from Kadzielawa. McCulloch and certainly Kadzielawa not hesitating here in this first round.
100% not. For a first round pace, this is spectacular. However, you can see Kadzielawa is just bringing that kick up at the end of the exchanges. However, we are looking for effect. We're looking for shots that moves the opponent. So right now, Mulley is winning them exchanges with the more effective kicks.
And the scoring, both fighters actually beginning under our 8-strike scoring criteria at 0-0. Now the question is, as we walk through it, because many of the purists will have been used to the 10-point must system, the winner getting 10, the loser 9 or less. In this case, someone's going to gain a point. Where do you see it?
Right now, I see Mulley as the point winner for that round, simply because the effect of the shots, and she was busier. Now, this is round 1 of a 5-round fight. You can't judge it straight off just round 1. I'd like to see Karolina now start stepping that up and start nullifying Mulley a bit more with her busyness. That might start changing the fight. But if Mulley starts taking this away with this pace, we could see a pretty controlled fight from Mulley's side. However, this is round 1.
And round 1 certainly one of those that eases one's way into the art of 8 limbs. Shake of the head there from Karolina. I'm not sure whether or not she was happy with how that transpired. Mulley looks very fresh. Was it the elbows?
No, there wasn't many elbows in there, but I feel like it's just the busyness is getting her a bit. I don't know, she's got a little bit of a bruise under her eye. That's it, there we go. See, she's got a little bit of a hematoma building up underneath her right eyeball.
2 of a scheduled 5, 3 minutes on the clock. Of course, a longer break there under traditional Thai rules. There will be some chopping and changing under the time limits and the ways breaks happen. But interestingly, Kieran, taking a look at this right now, there are some adaptations and some changes.
So the changes now, I feel, is Karolina is standing her ground much better and not coming forward as much. She, as I say that, she then goes straight into the clinch, which is nice to see. Sod's law. But I think that's what Karolina needs to work on. She's long. She doesn't need to make it a scrappy fight. If she keeps the teep going and the kick's long, there we go, then she can return. Mulley needs to work that in and out pressure now. She's noticing that Karolina's switching on to that.
Kadzielawa continuing to double up and triple up the kicks. Beautiful push kick. Again, a very effective weapon against an opponent that may look to put some pressure on you. Kadzielawa, the fight IQ and ring IQ as she snaps in a lead left hook. That was good contact again, Kieran.
It was, and just as I was saying about Mulley doing the kick, punch, kick drills in the first round, Karolina needs to adapt it now to set up her kicks. Because if you notice, when Karolina goes to kick, Mulley's in and out. She bounces in, she lands her shots, and she gets out again. Blood pouring from the nose of Karolina. She needs to start doing something about blocking them hands.
Again, firing off the kicks.
It's them exchanges there. When you go kick for kick for kick, whoever finishes that exchange will always be notable for winning and will look better at the end of that round.
Mulley just doing an outstanding job here. Such a CV. 18 wins, as we mentioned, 3 defeats. Winning in Lumpini Stadium recently in Bangkok. The most famous ring, arguably, of Muay Thai. And the scouting report, as she predicted, was going to be that pressure and busyness, pace in the forecast. And that's what we're getting here.
There we go. The elbows are now coming out a bit more. What Mulley's doing tremendously well, she's sticking at her 70% pace. She's not going above that. She's not trying to sprint the marathon, you know. She's taking her time. She's just keeping that momentum going. And Karolina looks like she is struggling to maintain that pace.
Good clinch here from Karolina. I did mention the elbows in the corner. They were talking about it, and we did see a few.
Yeah, so I'm surprised that Karolina's not throwing more, being the longer ranger fighter. You know, she could step in lovely with a jab kick and then collapse with that upward elbow or coming down with a big right slice. Like here, there, when she gets her against the ropes, that'd be a great time to step in with the elbow and then follow up with a nice long piercing knee. But Mulley is getting the control in the clinch exchanges right now.
Choke, says the referee after the separation. Okay, 3 of 5, both fighters very quickly to the center. And which way will the pendulum swing? Good catch there from McCulloch. Such a technician is McCulloch stepping into the jab.
She's keeping her range phenomenal. Considering she's got the slight reach disadvantage, she is holding her range very well.
Switch kick to the midsection. Good catch and counter here. Just that little bit quicker as McCulloch. But like you said, I think both fighters really feeling the pace.
Definitely, and Karolina's got she had a great position there. Now McCulloch just changed that round. But when you get into that clinch, getting the hand on the back of the head and controlling the bicep, Karolina had that there for a second. She should have been banging them knees straight up to the midsection to hopefully try and tire out Mulley's ferocious pace.
McCulloch plodding forward. Landing the roundhouse, shows a roundhouse, lunges into a right cross, switches up again. It is beautiful footwork. Everything's working together from McCulloch. That more efficient footwork could be a difference.
It is, massively. She's working like a triangular shaped footwork. She comes in she comes in straight. She comes out either left or right. She's never just bouncing in and out directly because she always opens up a gap for either a nice high kick or that chopping low kick.
Choke again here from the referee.
I'd like to see Karolina march forward a little bit though. She's given Mulley her space. She's allowing Mulley to move. Oh, that was a head kick land there on the chin.
That might have been a nice connection here, certainly scoring. Did it have effect?
Did Mulley feel that is the question? She looks like it has. Or is it just the pace has got to her? Has the pace of the last 2.5 rounds got to her?
This could be an opportunity for Kadzielawa. A shifting in the sands.
She's bouncing that knee off the midsection now, getting that clinch position nicely.
Kadzielawa, of course, is known for one of those styles where she will push through things and really make things happening. Training around her camp is a full-time job. She said was so difficult. Reading philosophy, though, she said, focusing on all of the psychological preparations to really get ready for a hard fight. And she's found herself in a hard fight.
She has, and she's now flipping the switch. We spoke briefly there about her marching forward. She's now engaging that. I think she was waiting for Mulley to blow herself out a little bit, and now she's engaging that Muay Kaunas.
Kadzielawa, no stranger to fighting more difficult, experienced opponents, has fought certainly plenty of tough records along the way. She's fought up as high as 68, tonight at 60 keys. And did want to get into a brawl tonight just for the sake of it, and she really seems to have weathered the storm, pressing things into the corner, working the geometry.
This is the beauty of 8 strikes in this kind of style of fighting. You can go through these first couple of rounds thinking that, you know, one's at a loss. We just said, well, I said in particular, 1 point each round for Mulley for round 1 and 2. That now for me is a change. I would say Karolina has now nicked that round. So now that's a 2-1 score for Mulley. Can Karolina now change that up and make that 3-2? There's 2 more rounds.
Let's take a look at some of the action. We saw that forward pressure from Kadzielawa. You could see her just kind of shake her head as if to say, is this all you got? And now comes the talk. There is talk in Muay Thai that sometimes you take a couple of rounds off. I don't think Kadzielawa is taking a couple of rounds off.
No.
What happens next?
I think the strategy stays the same now. I think from that switch, changing in round 3, I think it's very clear what Karolina is going to be working on now. The aim is to tire Mulley out more, hit the knees in that midsection. We can see Mulley was trying to disengage from them clinch exchanges now. She's just trying to hold control, put the leg across the hips, which what that'll do in the clinch is nullify your opponent from kneeing. Also a good score for balance.
So the plot thickens here, round 4. Mentioning the scoring once again, we're probably going to be in a position where, because there's been no knockdowns, there has been 1 point given to Kadzielawa and 2 points to McCulloch unofficially. Should there be a knockdown, that's another point in that round. Once again, stick with us. We'll walk you through the 8 strikes.
Yes, so what we're noticing now is the effective damage. So now that Karolina's coming forward, she's been shown there's a lot of redness building up around the torso of McCulloch, because you can see Karolina's kicks are improving, but the knees are also improving. So what we're looking for now, for Karolina to get more points in this fight, she has to keep Mulley on the back foot and show that aggressive striking. Has to move Mulley. As you notice, Mulley's hitting Karolina now, but bar-like shots like that, she's not really moving her as much because Karolina's standing firm.
Kadzielawa occupying the center of the squared circle here. Tests again with the kicks. Good check. Good return here. Check and return from Kadzielawa. Beautiful, though. McCulloch has such an outstanding push kick from that rear leg. The teeth, it's just gorgeous. It's poetry.
And you never know if it's going to hit your leg, your belly, or your face.
Yes.
Because I'm here trying to spot it, and it could hit you at any point. The flexibility levels to land that is insane.
McCulloch, as we mentioned, working as a coach, training, bringing that pressure here. Never leaving Kadzielawa alone was the mission, she said. But it might have been one of those where coming into the 3rd round, fatigue has set in, and Kadzielawa really starting to find her own rhythm.
She is, but when she gets them clinch possessions as she did, she was driving the head into the throat of McCulloch, sealing the deal with that clinch. Once she has that, she should squeeze as hard as she can and just tap them knees in, because then McCulloch will burn a lot more energy just trying to get out of that. There we go. There's the knees, just popping up to the middle.
Good pummel here from Kadzielawa. McCulloch looking to tie up as well. Referee says separation, not enough activity. And the look in the eyes of both corners is one as if to say, I know going into the 5th, if it does go that far for the next 45 seconds, it's going to be a tie ball game.
100%. And what I've noticed with McCulloch is I thought she was tiring down the last round. This round, she's showing like a spruce of energy. She's kicking and moving phenomenally. She's making Karolina step back, which is what you want.
McCulloch certainly trying to gain some ascendancy here. It certainly isn't a story that's completely written yet here in the fourth. Kadzielawa's had her moments. Good catch from McCulloch. Again, so balanced, even when she's getting hit. It's an art unto itself, staying balanced.
Of course, it just shows the weight distribution that she's going from left foot to right foot very well. The footwork she has isn't a traditional Thai boxing footwork either. She's bouncing in and out as if she's almost like a kickboxery style.
Effective work from orange and black. Big deep breaths from McCulloch and Kadzielawa. I'm sure there'll be a chance to revisit some of the action. Did McCulloch do enough?
She certainly put the throttle down that round, which I was surprised about. And to be fair, she was causing Karolina a lot of trouble that round. Karolina was building up a lot of good momentum in round 3.
Amber Jones is standing by for a quick report. Amber.
I'm disappointed, you know. We've been great to fight. It's a fantastic show so far. Production's good. A lot of people here. I would love to fight in the show.
Yeah, so if the call comes again, would you be on it?
Oh, 100%, 100%.
What are you thinking of the girls' fight tonight so far?
Really good so far. Been 3 fights, all fantastic, high quality, well matched. Really, really fun fights to watch.
There's already blood on the canvas as well, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, thank you so much, Ben. We're going to go back to the fight now.
Cool. Thank you.
And back to the action we go. 5th and final round. This one is 60 kilograms, full Thai rules. Kadzielawa, 8-0. Kickboxing and Muay Thai. Mulley McCulloch, very experienced indeed, 18-3. Has fought in Thailand, has fought against some top-level competition. Kadzielawa certainly up to the task. Should be a barn burner for the next few minutes if it goes that far, Kieran.
Well, exactly. I think Karolina now, if I was in her corner, I would have said to her, apply all pressure now. McCulloch has shown great control in this fight, and I would have her slightly up, in my opinion. Karolina can still stop this fight if she wanted to. I think she just has to find that gap to target McCulloch's weakness. But she isn't showing any. She's not showing any at all right now.
Bravery here, toe-to-toe. Good contact in the clinch. Striking, scathing knees there to the midsection from both. And the corners are going absolutely bananas right now. They know the margins could be close, but I have to agree with you. Mulley McCulloch certainly has put in, at times, a fatigue but very technical masterclass.
Yes, and on the moments when they're both breaking, if you notice, Mulley is she's sorting her range out, but she's doing bits. She's being active with her shots. Sometimes when the pause comes, Karolina is just kind of stood there, not doing anything, but she's not throwing any strikes to keep it busy. Even just like a little jab, just to pop it, get the flinching going.
An art unto itself.
Lovely elbow step in from McCulloch there, nice and neatly on the inside.
And as the system gets taxed, you fall back to basics. Certainly right now, McCulloch, nice slip on the inside, dancing. Eats a left hook there from Kadzielawa.
Mulley's ring control, sorry Chris to put into it, but Mulley's ring control, if you're watching at home, is absolutely superb. She's using all 4 corners of the ring very wisely, never once really getting stuck in the corner.
Kadzielawa looks for a chopping elbow up the middle. I was going to say, Kieran, that ultimately McCulloch, though backing off at times, is still very much in control in this fight, and that is such a difficult thing to do.
It is, and what's happening now is, if you notice, Karolina's following her around the ring. So what she should really start trying to do is cut the ring off, make it hard for McCulloch to move. But that's just it. When you're in there facing that competition, it can often be a lot easier said than done.
Well, it's been a heck of an opener. Again, welcome to everybody watching worldwide. This is 8 Strikes. Plenty more in your future from the Woolwich Works, of course, including a banger of a co-main and a main event for a featherweight title. And our fight of the night is next too, but for now, it's McCulloch and Kadzielawa here who are in the clinch, chucking everything but the kitchen sink.
Absolutely tremendous finish to that round. There must have been about 5 elbows in the space of 2 seconds thrown there.
And all that can be is the sign and show of respect. Both corners have to be happy with the performance. There are lessons learned, statements given, and Mulley McCulloch and Karolina Kadzielawa go the distance. 5 thrilling rounds. I mean, if that's the prediction of the forecast tonight, Kieran, I want some more.
Oh, 100%. We're in for a treat tonight, and as are you, ladies and gentlemen, at home. The kick exchange, like, what I felt Karolina could have done a bit better. When she was catching them kicks, she could have delayed it for a second, hold it, pull Mulley into her a bit, and then throw an elbow. But I feel because Mulley's pace was so fast, she was thinking along the lines of, boom, let me get rid of that quick kick quick and act fast.
So a chance to revisit some of the action. As we rate the judges' scorecards, it should really be 5 points to play, and then, of course, a division of labor, depending on which way the judges have seen it. Ben Edwards is going to get the verdict. Of course, we'll have open scoring moving forward, too, which will clue you in on. For now, Ben Edwards.
Scorecards. Your winner by unanimous decision, Mulley McCulloch.
McCulloch has done it. Mad props, of course, to Kadzielawa coming back into this fight in the 3rd round. But at the end of the day, self-belief, she said pre-fight. The better preparation, changing the strategy if required, and bringing that pressure from the first bell to the very last. Tail of the tape here, it's Baker and Cruz. 18-6 is Baker, of course, 14-10 is Cruz. Sorry to cut you off there, Kieran, but we got to move on. Ben Edwards is ready. This one is at 59 kilograms. Of course, Baker is moving up in weight. Cruz has promised an upset. It's an international. It's fight 2 here on 8 Strikes.
We're ready for our next bout of the evening, which is 5 rounds in the 59-kilogram division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome Papito Kenneth Cruz.
Kenneth Papito Cruz makes the walk here from the black corner. Born in Honduras, forged in Madrid, and finished in London. An MTGP British champ, and is a man who was ranked 3rd once upon a time in the UK. That was 2023. 26 fights deep, but there's a little bit of a mixed record, but one of them tells you everything you got to know about Cruz, and we mentioned it again in the opening studio. His leg literally gave away in the 2nd round of a fight, but it was the defining moment of his career. Hurt badly, refused to stop, won by stoppage in the 4th, and literally crowdfunded surgery afterwards. Kenneth Cruz said, look, there'll be blood, there'll be heart, and there'll be everything that is not a false marketing promise here tonight. The Fight Zone product is in the ring. Back to Ben Edwards.
And now entering the arena, the Atom, Alfie Baker.
I'm Alfie Baker. I've had to move up weight. 53, it gave me an eating disorder. When you describe it to a normal person, getting punched in the face doesn't sound very appealing, but every week you're getting punched in the face and you keep coming back. I think it's that adrenaline. It's like the only thing I've ever known in my life. Since I was 6, people see me on the street and obviously they see like, oh, I'd punch him up. And then obviously when I'm in the ring, it's a different story.
With the fans in the bleachers, it takes 2 to tango, and of course, cue Alfie Baker, excuse me. Of course, plenty have come to wait for the chorus on this walkout, and it's a man who has earned every single bar. The Atom, as we mentioned, at 19, has been in the sport since he was just 6. He's one of the youngest stars, I think, on this card tonight. 18 wins later, ranked 7 in the UK. He was a cadet world champ under the ISKA rules. But this walk, he said, means more than anything. Last December, there was a routine blood test and an actually urgent phone call to his parents. They said, look, get him to the hospital. He could be minutes away from a heart attack. Alfie spoke about months of bulimia and an eating disorder with that cut to 53 kilos. A week in the hospital later, his girlfriend, of course, hiding past visiting hours every single day. His coach said recovery could take a year. Alfie did it in 4 months, and he did it by coming up to this weight class, speaking candidly about feeling healthy, feeling right, speaking openly because tonight is the answer, and giving this sport everything he's got. An emotional tale, Alfie Baker, a personal comeback en route to this occasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next bout of the evening. 5 rounds of action in the 59-kilogram division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. He weighed in at 59 kilograms, 26 fights, 14 wins, from Honduras, Papito, Kenneth Cruz. And his opponent across the ring, he has a record of 23 fights, 18 wins, 6 defeats, from Essex, the Atom, Alfie Baker.
Full tie rules, 59 kilograms, 5 3-minute rounds, and prospect Kenneth Papito Cruz. Alfie, the Adam Baker. Could be very exciting. Silver Spirit, Muay Thai. Mira Cruz Thai boxing out of Fight Zone in London. And there's plenty to look out for here. We talked about Cruz maybe being the aggressor, but it's a dominant start from the Adam.
It is, and we just seen the calf kick fly out from Kenneth Cruz. I think he's going to want Alfie to step forward and hopefully try and target them legs and nullify them. See there, as he's stepping in, chopping that calf, try and deaden that, because we know Alfie Baker's going to probably be stepping in with some nice tasty knees. He's gearing up for them there.
Good calf kick again, inside boxing coming from the Adam, a guy who really can do it all. Such strong fight IQ, defensively sound, offensively capable. Coming off a loss last fall, has really looked better and bigger than ever. Literally, at 59, I think it was the right move coming up in weight.
Exactly, and you know, coming off a loss will often make a fighter a lot more dangerous. You know, they want to prove their loss. They want to prove themselves worthy of a win again. So I think Papito is going to be making sure he's ticking all the boxes with having such a young, dangerous Alfie Baker in front of him.
Chopping pressure here from Baker, sliding into a knee. Such strong, again, visibility in the ring. Sees everything, looks for every opening. Cruz, a little bit more of a brawler, like you said, that Mexican-style boxing and almost elbows on the inside. But he promised the kicks. That's exactly what he said he was going to do.
He is, and they're being very wary of each other. They're showing a lot of respect at the start of this first round. I'm almost kind of waiting, what's going to be the shot that's going to change it? What elbow is it going to be? What punch is it going to be? See Kenneth now trying to throw them looping hooks over.
Kenneth literally said there's no way this is going to go the distance. The heart of Honduras, the comeback kid from Essex. Baker, though, certainly looking to make a statement. Dig to the body there from Cruz. Kenneth Cruz can bang, man. It's not always that you see guys with big power at this weight class.
No, and you know what it is, when he bangs, you can hear it. Like from ringside, you can hear the thump of the glove hitting the body, which a lot of the time when people throw, they don't throw it that fierce connection. You know, he doesn't want to be taking too many of them kicks to the arms.
Baker doing a great job just getting the end of his punches, the end of his kicks. Trying to stick and move on the outside a little bit, mix it up. But Cruz said verbatim, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. But a dissection by Baker would not be an uncommon prediction looking at the styles.
So 2 things we highlighted with Kenneth, calf kicks and body shots. We're seeing the calf kicks are coming off to great play, but he is throwing that straight right down to the solar plex now. If you notice, Alfie's stance isn't as strong as it was coming out. He is being a lot more wary of them calf kicks. That was a great first round by both gentlemen.
2 of 5. Cruz in the black corner. Orange tape, black gloves. Alfie the Atom Baker. It almost looks like they swapped corners. Good chopping kicks here from both. Good return from Baker. Baker doubles up to the body. Deep breath as Baker bites down and has to eat a left hook. Those hooks there from Cruz. Cruz can certainly find, again, eating one or two to give one back.
Exactly, and we see that Alfie's carrying his hands quite low, but he's not in fear of him. He's utilizing that step knee very well, even though at the risk of Kenneth throwing them big right overhand bombs. But to be honest, Alfie's got a chin of steel. I've seen him get banged by a few lads, and he can firm them. But can he firm Papito's bombs is the question.
Good hand fighting there from Baker. Baker lines up a left kick. He's got to fight long, got to fight tall.
Ooh, lovely hook over the top from Alfie Baker. Looked like it kind of stunned Kenneth there a bit. There we go, we're starting to see the body shots unload from Kenneth. So see, Kenneth is trying to go for them body shots a bit more, but Alfie's being very good with that step, because he's been aware of the calf kick now. I think he's had enough of taking it in round 1, which I don't blame him.
Ooh. Pierce teeing up there with good straight punches. It's very much looping punches from Kenneth Cruz against the straight, more calculated shots, and of course the teep, the jump knees, and so on from Baker. Really a great clash of styles. I can see why you love this fighting prospect.
Of course. Lovely right overhand landing on the chin of Baker. We've been seeing a bit of the scissor action coming from Baker. Is that something we're going to see later on in the fight? Is it going to be a stoppage or a scissor knee? He's threatened to do it twice now.
Cruz feinting, faking, looking for work. Again, he has found some very damaging punches at times as Baker tries to fight his way off the ropes. The body shots, though, the body shots and calf kicks from Kenneth Cruz have been exceptional.
Do you know what I'm loving about this fight so far is it's 50-50 with the pressure. 1 minute Alfie's on the front foot, next minute Kenneth's on the front foot.
Cruz searching for the legs.
Big left hook with a big left kick to finish that left hook.
Switch up there from Cruz. Baker looks to reply. It is Cruz who's really getting his own word in at this juncture, but seconds to go. And there's a beautiful
Big
trip there from
sweep.
Baker.
That's a big positive for the scorecard.
Amber Jones is standing by with an interview with Mo Abdurrahman.
So I am sat ringside here with Mo Abdurrahman. Mo, are you getting some inspiration from the fights right now?
Yeah, Kenneth and Alfie Baker fight. They're really good.
What's your prediction for this fight?
Maybe Kenneth's late stoppage.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking maybe Alfie might take it with a scissor knee. Hard to say. How are you feeling ahead of your fight tonight?
Really good, really good. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Being in the venue, the energy's like riling me up.
Yeah, it's like it's filling up in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's looking good. It's like pretty full already. It's like, yeah.
Have you got a lot of people here for you tonight as well?
Yeah, man. Like all these boys are from London, so they all know me. Loads of the gyms here, like they all know me, you know. So like, I feel like I know everyone here. It's really weird.
Local celebrity. What do you think about the show as well, quickly?
Show's great. Like 8 Strikes doing bits. They're doing the best production I've seen so far from Thai and K1. Best show in the UK by far.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mo.
We continue. Alfie the Atom Baker, the orange corner, but in this case, the black tape on the gloves. Not sure what happened. Kenneth Papito Cruz with the orange tape. He doesn't care. Familiar tactics again, Kieran.
Some voodoo stuff going on inside the ring. Some magic. So again, now we're seeing both lads teeing off at each other in the center of the ring. Who's going to take the first back step? So we're seeing a lot more range control from Alfie Baker now, leaving that right hand out in the southpaw stance. I think them calf kicks are actually starting to hurt that left leg a little bit. When you start seeing fighters change stances, there's usually a reason. If it's a choice, fair enough. But sometimes when you see them kicks landing over and over, he's not raising that shin up to block. So that southpaw stance has been coming out a little bit more coming into this round.
Both fighters back to orthodox. Again, Cruz continues to lead the conversation by digging to the body. I'd love to see him use the jab to set a little bit of that up. At times, of course, testing coming short, kind of ripping to the body. Clinical work in response from Baker. Baker kind of gives it the old glove to the forehead as if to say, yep, you tagged me, but I got something waiting for you too.
Well, he's done it to the right fella. There's certain fighters in this game that you want to give the nod to. Kenneth Cruz is definitely one of them that will fulfill that want. But I want to see more of the faking from Kenneth. In that last round, he was faking, like you mentioned. He had him in the corner, he was causing a reaction. I'd like to see a bit more of that now to try and get working to that body again and start hearing them body shots land again.
Cruz mentioned fighting for his 7-year-old daughter, coming back from injury, fighting for family, running his own gym, refusing to quit, and certainly finding that right cross. But Baker, again, it's sort of like Cruz gets one and Baker might get 2 or 3.
It is. And with Baker, I feel like he's doing well at nullifying a bit, but he's finishing the exchanges. Like the previous fight we had with Mulley, finishing the exchanges with the mid kicks at the end and showing good effect with them. But Alfie looks good when he has Kenneth against the ropes. That is the thing. So I feel like Alfie should put a bit more pressure on, try and get Kenneth closed off in the corner.
We mentioned the recent loss from Alfie, lower in weight last November. Seemingly became a little bit fatigued. He does look like a more energetic fighter, and that can be such a difference, can't it?
He looks like a jacked version of Alfie Baker. It looks like the Alfie Baker that was needing to come out, you know, and he was performing exceptionally well at this lower weight, but I think this is the weight for him. He's fuller, he's young, he's filling out.
High point roundhouse kick there from the Atom. Cruz replies. Alfie Baker smiles. Cruz starting to get a little bit desperate there with the spinning technique. Is this where control and range and physical discipline takes over, Kieran?
It does, but also the understanding of where the pace will change now in the fight. We're starting to see, you said there, that desperate spinning back elbow attempt after Alfie throwing one. That's where Kenneth's got to be careful now going into these last two, or into later rounds of this fight. Don't get desperate trying to throw. So as you can see, the knees that Alfie's been throwing in the first couple of rounds have been lovely. I'd like to see him work that forward knee style. He's got the range. Nice spinning back elbow from Alfie landing there.
And you get the feeling, taking a look at some of those highlights, that Baker has just kept his eyes open and been a little bit more observant to define the techniques he decided to deploy, because that's what fighting is, right? You see what the other guy is going to do and you choose what you got to do in response. And where Baker is still dangerous, where Cruz is still dangerous, Baker can still find the way forward.
Of course. And I feel like Baker is adapting this. I call it a third-person view when you fight. So when you're fighting, it's the third person where you're seeing everything.
Like a video game.
Exactly. But then the thing is with Kenneth, if Alfie's smart enough, which I'm sure he is, he can make Kenneth focus on one point. And where Alfie would be able to focus on all points of the ring, all areas of the fight. So that's where we might see a fight style change.
Eloquently said, my good fellow Kieran Shanahan on commentary there for you. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, more than a decade in the game. You can follow him, I'm sure, and get more knowledge. But right now, dropping the conversation, moving forward into 4 of 5. Just been a firefight back and forth from Cruz, who continues to really reach with those left hooks, and Baker, who steps in off the 1-2-10.
We're seeing now in the money rounds, Baker came out strong in that first exchange, but they're so adaptable at giving and taking. Okay, you have a little bit this time. You have a little bit this time. Now we're seeing Alfie control Kenneth against the ropes.
Are you surprised that it kind of ended up like a glorified sparring match between two very different styles?
Not at all, because the thing is that they're very respected in their field and in their weights. Obviously, Alfie's just come up in weight now, so this is a new avenue for him. But these lads know it. They've traded mega rounds with mega names. Oh, lovely 2 elbows clipping Alfie's chin from Kenneth Cruz there.
Baker again making the right decisions here. Wanted this so badly. This fight, he said, meant everything to him after overcoming, after speaking out about the difficulties he had faced personally with his health. Tonight was the answer. Tonight was the comeback trail. But then again, the heart of Honduras.
He's never out of the fight.
Exactly what I was going to say. Never out of the fight.
And that's what I'm noticing with Kenneth. You notice Alfie had about a 30-second strong composure there, holding Kenneth where he wants him. But then out of nowhere, Kenneth goes pop, 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 and he finds himself back into that center again.
So will it be the damage taken by Cruz that allows him the antidote to find a finish? Or will it be the ring craft of the Atom, Alfie Baker? Cruz still in this fight.
Very much so. But what you're seeing is more heavier shots trying to come from Cruz. Alfie is maintaining a set standard of amount of shots. He's keeping the same volume. He's poking elbows through at the right time at the steps. Whereas I find Kenneth now is loading a lot more. He's showing that load.
Now, if you're looking at this corner from a strategy perspective, Baker's corner, is the kind of adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, more the same?
Yes and no, but you notice that with Kenneth, he stopped doing a lot of the things he was doing in the earlier rounds, you know? Yeah. So he stopped throwing the calf kicks as much. So if it's broke, don't fix it, but keep doing what you're already doing, you know? Whereas I feel like now he's as I said, he's fixing on that one point. He wants to box him now. He wants to hurt him. Alfie's got that third-person kind of view on him. So that's where I thought I would have seen the fight go for this round.
Amber Jones is standing by. Amber, what's happening?
Guys, I'm sat here with Michael Wakeling, 4 times world champion. Who are you here to see tonight?
I'm here to see the whole card, but looking forward to the main event later on. Mo, which will be a great fight. But the whole fighting now, Kenneth Cruz fighting, very exciting fighter. So it's a really good show. What
are you thinking, who's going to take the W between Alfie and Kenneth right now?
I think Alfie's edging it. I think Alfie's going to take it.
How do you think he's going to win? KO, points?
I think points, yeah, points.
I feel like Alfie's going to surprise us. I feel like he's going to pull something out the bag last minute. What do you think?
I think if anyone pulls anything out of the bag, I think it's Kenneth Cruz. But I think Alfie, he's ahead on points. I think he'll end up taking the win on points.
What are you thinking of the whole 8 Strikes production tonight as well?
The production's amazing. The show, I think, from start to finish, is really good. I'm really enjoying it so far, so it's good.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Michael. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet you.
5th and final round, and there is energy in the building. As you can see, both fighters coming straight to the center. Alfie Baker, orange. Kenneth Cruz, black. Cruz with that orange tape, nonetheless, is really looking to push this thing forward. You can tell there was probably a little bit of words in the corner as if to say, it's now or never.
Yes, exactly, and I know Jose Varela from Fight Zone. I know exactly what he would have been saying to Papito there now. Fix your game up and start loading off. I feel like Alfie was walking away a little bit from the last couple of rounds, just from the exchanges. A nice little smirk from Alfie Baker there.
As drum and bass fills this arena over, and shall I say in lieu of the traditional Thai music.
It's different. I'd love to see a nice Thai dance to the drum and bass. I wonder how that would work.
Listen, man, that'll be the next Instagram short. But it's Baker who really is feeling that rhythm right now. And I will say it's not 120 BPM, but at the end of the day, he is certainly keeping the metronome, I think, and keeping that even-keeled approach to take away the dangerous skills of Kenneth Cruz.
Exactly, and you think Kenneth's attributes is his strong boxing. We've not seen Alfie get rocked or get affected by that boxing. Now, we don't feel it, I'm sure he does, but he's not getting hit and stumbling. He's not getting hit and getting worried. He's standing his ground. Oh. Nice knee off the ropes from Alfie Baker. You can see Kenneth trying to load up and then punches. Alfie is staying aware, leaning back, dropping that knee up. Oh, you see Alfie Baker throwing some hands to the body as well now. He's mixing it up nicely. For me, I feel like Alfie needs to keep this range, keep poking at Kenneth when he tries to throw something. See, Kenneth is stalking him now, trying to land that big shot.
Cruz focused, searching, doing everything he can to try and find some daylight here. The referee says we want more. There are seconds left. But like you said, it's the decision-making of just kind of testing, keeping the gates on lockdown, if you will, against the forward momentum and the forward footwork from Kenneth Cruz here in the fifth. It's been as aggressive as it's been, but maybe not as calculated as the first round from Cruz.
No, it's not. And I feel like Kenneth ran out of options very quick because he stopped doing the things that he was doing very well in, i.e. the calf kicks, the straight right hand to the body. He started hunting for the head a lot more. I think all Alfie needs to do really for the remainder of this round, which is practically done, is just teep and jab and keep it long.
We go the full 5. What an outstanding fight. In prospect, kind of like we expected it to be, and to a degree a little bit different too.
100%. Obviously, I went down the route of there being stoppages and blood, and ironically, there was none of that tonight in this fight. But what we were showing was two lads that weren't going to go out of that ring. They weren't going to go out. The only way they were going to go out is cold, but they weren't. They stayed in there. They kept their chins tucked, and they showed why they're two of the best lads in the country at their weight. See the hooks coming over the top from Alfie. When he went into southpaw, that right hook was working lovely against Kenneth. See, he was on them kick exchanges there. I would have liked to have seen Kenneth block or catch him more and work a catch to a body shot. We're seeing Alfie speak to his corner, Silver Spirit Jim.
And that has to be a feel-good moment for both. There was a lot of respect. There was a lot of focus on overcoming obstacles, moving to do the impossible. The question is, where will the numbers lie? I think it'll be unanimous. Ben Edwards knows. And this arena and this audience is about to find out. Here's Ben.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. Your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the black corner, the Atom, Alfie Baker.
Tail the tape, Gravesande, Durrani, as we mentioned. Interesting records there across the board. Both fighters very similar in height. It's at 55 kilograms, a little bit over the weight limit there. London, Bill K. It's all UK. Ben Edwards is standing by. They'll make the official introductions for this walk of full tie rules, 5 3-minute rounds.
Very special guest in the audience from the UFC. Give it up for Arnold Allen. The action comes thick and fast with our next bout of the evening, which is a special attraction, 5-round bout in the 59-kilogram division. Please welcome first to the ring, please welcome AJ Durrani.
AJ Durrani, first out. He no ordinary Essex boy. He walked into the dulcet tones of Shy FX. Well, tonight AJ had a very special request for everyone watching. Don't look at that record. 6-5. It might as well be 11-0. It wasn't the tail of the tape. He'll tell you to judge him on his own trajectory. None of those ledgers. A WBC national champ who believes in his own humble opinion that he won his last fight despite those scorecards, as we said. His own account includes a knockdown that wasn't given. But make no mistake about it, Durrani said there's no pity, there's no excuses. I studied accounting. I know how to do the math. A self-confessed eBay flipper turned used car salesman and full-time fighter. It began in the boot sale days. Now, though, a postman delivers the post, he says, a barber cuts hair, and a fighter puts himself somewhere vulnerable for your
And
entertainment.
now entering the arena, the juggernaut, Josh Gravesande.
My name is Josh Gravesande. I'll be facing off and beating AJ Durrani. Well, the reason why I'm going to win this fight is because in every instance I'm just better than AJ. He's a very, very good fighter, but I'm a very, very, very good fighter. Everyone's felt my right hand and only a few of us survived. We're going to see a much more clearer performance, a sweeter victory, and even better celebration, bigger and better. Don't blink for a second.
The juggernaut, the unbeaten man. East London's own, 11 fights, 11 wins, ranked 9th in the UK, and he knows this ring, believe you me. It happened in March. He knocked out a former WBC title challenger. That happened to be Cyprus #1, Nicholas Cruz. Let me tell you a little bit what's going down behind that nickname. Josh is a roofer. 45, 55 hours a week are the minimum numbers up on the boards. And when he trains, like we mentioned in the black corner, he does it like a full-time professional alongside a full-time job. That might be one of the hardest unbeaten records in Britain to earn. Hard work, though, he said. That's where it was born, from football to fighting. Josh Gravesande.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all set to go with our next bout of the evening. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. 11 fights, 6 wins, 5 defeats from Billericay, AJ Durrani. And his opponent fighting out of the orange corner. He is known as the Juggernaut. 11 fights, 11 wins. He's undefeated. From East London, Josh Gravesande.
Third fight of the night, full tie rules. It is 5 3-minute rounds. AJ Durrani, black corner. Having the equipment check there. Josh the Juggernaut Gravesande. He is in the orange. He is unbeaten. He is confident. Coming off an incredible fight in March, right here. Kieran, your expectations?
So we've seen a very jumpy start from both lads now. To start this fight off. Durrani, I would have more of a traditional kind of Thai style, but he's trying to match the energy of Gravesande a little bit. Big shots coming off the start.
Good pressure here. Durrani trying to walk down Gravesande, trying to really steal this homecoming. Athletic, always looking for entries. Like we mentioned in the studio, he's always looking for work, and a busy fighter can be dangerous.
Of course, and we've seen a hint of his last finish come there. He throws that inside leg sweep and throws that right loop and hook. Is that a teaser for what we might see come?
Gravesande on the back foot here. Of course, we mentioned the victory over Nicholas Cruz recently. Literally promised violence, predicting a stoppage win, but it is Gravesande who's having to really think twice on the back foot, just a little bit more than I think he'd like to.
I think him and Kenneth were sharing a changing room together because the calf kicks are unloaded nicely off Gravesande there now. And it feels like Durrani's taken a couple of them and doesn't like them. I've never been a fan of calf kicks, though. I've never understood them, you know?
I'll see you during the intermission. We'll have a little play, Kieran. Going for the wheel kick there is Durrani. Gravesande again just backing off, looking to chop low to the legs like you mentioned once or twice, making very solid connections inside and outside, doubling up is Gravesande. Very skillful fighter. And again, you know, we've had some undefeated records earlier. There can be some pressure.
Maybe someone's all has to go. Durrani's on that mission. He's He's definitely taken the forward pressure to Gravesande, but Gravesande is moving swiftly. I mean, we're seeing a lot of spinny stuff come out from Durrani right now, but not real setup. We've seen a miss-spinning back kick, we've seen a miss-spinning back fist. So I'd like to see them be set up a little bit more. Don't get too desperate to try and throw these big shots.
Gravesande very, very balanced with the teep. Backs off, resets, really knows when to exit, knows when to play offense and defense. But it ain't all one-way traffic, Kieran.
It isn't, and he's showing that football experience by booting them calves.
As we mentioned, Gravesande actually growing up, playing at academy level, was eventually left stranded as an academy, not only player, but scholar, fully funded, was left stranded. Fighting filled that void, fighting today strictly for peace and for fun. But right now, it ain't too much fun in there if you're eating the elbows. And that was AJ Durrani as he was boxed into the corner. It's a lovely 12-6 coming in from Gravesande.
It is, and it's nice to see the transition of pace in the boxing gloves.
Thank you so much.
Amber Jones there with Arnold Allen, I'm sure very much enjoying the show. Gravesande continues to really get aggressive and stand very firm.
He's a very unorthodox side-to-side mover. You can tell when he steps, he's causing Durrani to almost flinch a little bit and not so much see what he's going to come with.
Looking to really line things up. That was a lovely right cross landing from Durrani, but it is Gravesande, like I said, with that exiting footwork and that constantly adjusting. The resetting, I think, is very important for him because he has that footwork, that cardio to be able to do that for 5 rounds. We've seen the pace he can put on. You just want to avoid the worst of the returns from Durrani, who is breathing very heavily.
That's the thing, Durrani comes out with a very surprising shot every now and then. Like he landed that big right hand a second ago. He's there, he is still a threat. Even though Josh is moving and he's showing these slick moves, Durrani could just click a shot at any point.
Gravesande looks for the clinch. Durrani predicted in this fight. Round 3, round 4, that's where the stoppage will be. It will be something unexpected from any angle.
I think Durrani should start letting some elbows go as Gravesande is working them looping hooks. He should try and meet that with a step. Start making the elbows come out. Make it more of a dogfight there. But Gravesande is now doing it to Durrani.
Durrani breathing again on the clinch separation. The showman, he's known for it. Any favorites, anybody unbeaten, he said, was an opportunity. Is that the referee stepping in for a count? He is.
He got stunned with a shot there. What we were saying about Durrani, very dangerous with shots out of nowhere. Is Gravesande okay?
Gravesande looks to try to find his way in off a jab, moves to the 3, the lead hook, landing quite nicely.
The eyes of Gravesande has opened up a lot more. I think that shot hit him a bit harder than what we've seen.
Touching here, looking to try to line up a home run.
Durrani's being patient, which is good. He's not rushing his shots.
And Durrani pressuring, looking for an opening. We saw it moments ago. There are 30 seconds left in this round. Now, for the very first time tonight for the uninitiated, we've seen a point in the first round go one way or the other. I've gone Gravesande. We will now have seen that knockdown actually score for Durrani to give him a point. Oh, how the tables may have turned.
Of course, and I think that just goes back to showing that Durrani is always there. He's never sleeping. You could hit him 3 or 4 times, but he's logging that information in.
And there is a smile, there is a different charisma from AJ Durrani, who literally equated fighting to exorcism. He said, I had so many demons before I stepped onto the mat. With each fight, I slay one more. And here is how he did it. Yeah. Literally off a right. I mean, it was pressure coming forward from Gravesande. That was a heck of a knockdown.
It was, and it was a stunner. It was one I don't think Gravesande expected. And I think we've seen a lot of Gravesande's reaction to a big shot like that. If Durrani were to have more of a setup and a stronger stance, what would happen to Gravesande? Would that be the dropping of him? Would it be an 8 count he wouldn't be able to make? I don't know. But that shot sure has stunned him. Let's see his approach coming out now into round 3.
The Juggernaut putting in those big roofing jobs during the week. Such a hard worker, has struggled to really keep up the training alongside that job. But he said, look, this is the opportunity for me to get into a firefight and steal the show. He certainly booked that firefight.
He has, and I like how Durrani is being composed coming out. It'd be easy for him to want to come out and try and knock his head off. But I feel this calculated approach is working nice for him.
Gravesande spinning, looking for work, looking to find some purchase there, but wasn't able to do it. There was a lovely head kick there, swing and a miss. Durrani definitely really, I think, caught a second win. He looked exhausted at some point to me in the second round. That knockdown changed, I think, not only the physical, but the emotional and the mental too, all in one.
It did, and it gave him a boost. It gave him a boost of, oh, I can change this fight if I want to. What I like is that Josh is still moving. He's not stopped his style. He's still trying to be awkward. He's still trying to work side to side. I feel like that shot also gave him a boost. Being like, right, I'm now 1-1 on the scorecards. I need to go in to round 4 being 2-1.
Overhand right there from Gravesande. Like you said, has really tried to stick to the plan, to trust the process. Short 1-2, low roundhouse kick to the leg. Again, potentially more combinations would be to his advantage. The pace is still there. He certainly doesn't look too as rattled as he was in the second round. Like you said, I think the look has changed a little bit in his eyes, but you start to ask questions of yourself too.
No, and we're seeing a bring back from the calf kicks again, but Durrani landing a big right hand over the top.
Durrani probing with a right, lands that left hook. Solid punches here from AJ Durrani. What a fight. It looks like the referee is taking a very careful look and saying, keep it clean, and I'm watching you.
But that's where Durrani needs to have Gravesande. He needs to have him against the ropes. He works better against him there. To see with Gravesande, where he's at his best is out in the center of the ring, being able to jump in and out. And I want to see them calf kicks come back, to be honest. He left them go in the second round, started bringing them back in this round. Durrani stalking him, needs to cut the ring off a little bit better.
Durrani again finding the money shot with that left hook. It's a left hook and the right cross. It's really been one of his best punches, or really both of his best punches. And it's a little bit sloppy at times from Durrani, but it's still effective, and that's really what counts.
It is, and that teep putting Gravesande on his back really would have helped.
Oh, a right cross again. Massive shot. AJ Durrani is on fire, and it hasn't been a perfect fight. But the referee is looking so closely to step in and end this round, but he was also looking closely for a potential knockdown scenario.
It was, and it's quite weird. Whenever I see Gravesande get hit, I don't know if it's affected him worse or not so bad, because he hits, and I don't know if it's just his style. He's got great forward pressure off them jabs, so chopping that low calf kick, but boom, when he gets hit, his stance goes. He's not planting his feet for the rebound of the shot. So that was the move that Bin, the referee, was telling Gravesande off a little bit for. Yeah, I think, you know, when you're throwing your shots and fighting, everyone throws the shot. That's the phenomenal side of it. But it's the rebound of the shot that will save you. Because if you're throwing everything into that punch or throwing everything into that kick, but not thinking about the rebound, their shot will always come off and look that little bit more explosive or effective, which is what we're looking for here at 8 Strikes.
Eye appeal equals buy appeal.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it means if you see it and it looks good, you're probably going to buy it, and that's the judges, right? It's not some American TV infomercial, I promise.
Good thing I'm not a judge.
4 of a scheduled 5 here, Gravesande and Durrani. Of course, Gravesande, the undefeated record. The Juggernaut, 11-0. A lot of support here on the east side of London town tonight. And AJ Durrani, the underdog. Many would have potentially written him off, especially after the last fight. He thought he'd won. But I think no matter what's going down, the corner will have told Gravesande you better have a spectacular round, and it better be a sterling effort, son.
Yes, 100%. You're seeing that come out of him now. He's now carrying on exchanges. He's not letting him go. He's making sure that he's staying active, but I would like to see some elbows go a bit more now when they're close. I feel like Gravesande loves a box. It'd be nice to see a slice.
Searching again for good combinations are both corners. But you can smell the finish line at this point. And really for both corners, it's come from very different paths. Gravesande had such a good opening round. And I don't want to say it went down the toilet, but at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers, and the judges are, well, if we see the open scoring going into the 5th round, you're going to see those knockdowns.
You will, and right now, I'm seeing Durrani with a lot more effective shots that are wobbling Gravesande.
I say the knockdowns, we really had one officially, but in my mind, there have been some heavy punches, some heavy leather from AJ Durrani.
Well, we're looking for the effect. The effect is showing nicely from the Silver Spirit fighter.
Durrani, who really came from the school of hard knocks, studying something completely different. Quit having a boss, quit everything, was selling on eBay, tried fighting, never looked back. Both guys working full-time still, training full-time still, competing at a professional level. There's been a blood and guts performance, I think, from both, but the pace settling, the pace slowing a little bit, but plenty on the field to play for still.
What we need to see is the crispness in the shots. They're starting to slow down with that spice, but lovely spinning back fist off that kick.
There's the knockdown.
No, it's not counted as one.
No!
He's got to back up going.
My word. It looked like that might have been count, but it wasn't. I have to say that was rattling him at least. That was a heavy left hook.
Ooh, punched the spit out of his mouth.
Serious impact here. Gravesande, who has been clocked multiple times with that left hook, knows it is now or never. High kick comes in from AJ Durrani. Durrani again with a head kick. Oh, what a play there. I'm telling you, they literally both put the pedal to the metal. They turned the screw, and no one was backing down in that round.
No, not at all. I think Josh Gravesande needs to have a big round 5 now, if not a stoppage, to take this fight his way. Knee to the head, just missing there in that clinch exchange. It's very nice to see these lads working solid clinch, as well as great striking. I don't know, Chris, that looked like a bit of a knockdown to me, that did. You know? Oh, he ate that head kick nicely as well.
I have to say, the visual evidence really serving the operative of the word. He was knocked down.
Listen, I'm a strong advocate for it. If that had been a different ref, maybe might have been a different decision, but he was lucky to be let off with no 8 count on that drop.
We have the open scoring. I'm not sure if you're getting the graphics. It is 4 points to the black corner, 1 point to the orange, which literally means we're going to need quite a few knockdowns in this round, or we're going to need a stoppage from Gravesande.
He did pull it off in his last fight. Gravesande is dangerous. He can do this. He has done it before.
Switch kick here. AJ Durrani, as we mentioned, saw the finish line in the 4th round. Smells what could be at that stage. And it's very obviously, according to the judges' scorecards. Never mind the scorecards. Unbelievable connection there out of nowhere. The juggernaut, Josh Gravesande, completely floors AJ Durrani. And is the referee going to step in and end this fight? Yes, he has. Gravesande, under pressure to the nth degree, has literally pulled it out of the bag. Outstanding performance.
Oh my God, we was literally talking about it, how Gravesande can switch the fight, and he did. He switched it He drops that right hook, and wow. He done the same thing he done the last fight. It just shows it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Jumps into the crowd. That was nuts. I've seen a lot of comebacks in the last month. I called a lot of different combat sports, but that might be the pinnacle highlight. I mean, it would have been very easy to resign yourself to defeat at that point, but that is not the cloth at all the Juggernaut was cut from, working full time, rejected from football. And at the end of the day, it just takes one good one, and that was the connection. Nuts.
It just shows the fight's not over till it's over. The fight is not over till it's over. I hope Durrani is okay. It was one hell of a shot from Gravesande.
Even the way he charged it.
It's like he's seen it in slow motion.
It's like somebody put an elastic band into his right hand and had pulled it back and let it go.
The disadvantage sometimes of being up on the scorecards this high is that you can often forget that you are that high up and that they are fighting for their life at that stage. So I think Durrani might have had a moment of just lapse in focus. And that's where Gravesande is dangerous. He's proved it, and this is the second time he's proved it.
And that's sport. That's the fight game.
That's the fight game.
Well, a reckoning for the Juggernaut, Josh Gravesande. The unbeaten man. 11 fights, now 12 fights. Literally looked in the mirror and must have known with the score reveal going into that last round that record was literally evaporating in front of his eyes. That's a tough feeling.
I was seeing the Durrani finish, to be fair, just 5 rounds finish. But Gravesande, at his weight, everyone should know he is always risky. Always a threat.
The end comes 2 minutes and 59 seconds into the very last round. Here's your winner by TKO, the Juggernaut, Josh Gravesande.
Tail the tape, Mulley, Patton. A lot of discussion about this one. Both fighters not that experienced. 7-fight veteran against an undefeated 3-0. 2 knockouts to begin that undefeated record. Shea Patton in the black corner. In the orange corner, Frank Mulley. Kent versus Derry, and Ben Edwards is standing by.
Which is a 3-round special attraction in the 60-kilogram division. Please welcome first to the ring, Shea Patton.
Shea Patton, barely a year into the pro game, has seen him take 3 fights, as we mentioned, in 3 outings. And get this, from N class to A class. That is one of the steepest climbs to altitude you will see anywhere in this entire sport. But the backstory and the backstory, what's in his back pocket, a little bit unlikely actually. A law degree, decided the courtroom could wait. And yeah, he funds a full-time training with weekend shifts on nightclub security. Now that's a career change. And it's all come down to this, 3-0 at 60 keys.
And now entering the arena, it's Frank Mulley!
My name's Frank Mulley, I'm 22, professional Muay Thai fighter. I started with karate when I was about 6, and then we moved to Thai boxing at about 8, and then ever since then, been training Thai boxing for 14 years now. I'm a nice person, but I like to hurt people.
Don't Stop Me Now. That's not just a song. For Mulley, it's a biography. At 21, from just down the road in Meepham and Kent. The story goes a little bit something like this. One day he said, "Dad, can I have the keys to the family garage? I want to open a gym. Dad said, well, finish your GCSEs and we'll talk. He did it at 16. 6 years later, that's the Frank Mulley Combat Academy. And it's a family operation. Dad manages him, Mom works at the gym, and there's a baby on the way to inherit the keys. Karate at 6, Thai boxing from 8, a former junior #1. And then the hard chapters, though. A KO loss, broken hand, multiple operations. Rebuilding all the way, though, to tonight is Frank Mulley. And here's Ben Edwards.
We're ready for our next bout of the evening, which is 3 rounds in the 60-kilogram division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. He's undefeated, 3 fights, 3 wins from Derry, Shea Patton. And his opponent, fighting out of the orange corner, 8 fights, 4 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw from Kent, Mulley.
3 rounds, 3 minutes, a little bit of a shift for the first time tonight, of course, keeping the full Thai rules with the 8 strikes scoring. We'll walk you through it. We do have a full 8 strikes fight tonight. This is a little bit of a build-up to the season opener. More on those details later. Right now, it's between the orange corner, Frank Mulley. The black corner, Shea Patton. Kieran, go.
Frank Mulley, the more technical, I'd say, out of the 2 for the Thai style. From watching past fights of his, he's a very elusive style. He trains at Lumpini Crawley. They've got a high level of very slick Thai fighters there, George Jarvis being one of them. Shea Patton, watch a bit, very sporadic. He could roll a head kick. He moves, he's very random with his shots. But I think with Frank, the key for him now, there's like 3-round fights, you know, so it has to be busy. Right now, they're both not being busy enough.
Early doors here. Mulley actually just coming back from Phuket in Thailand off a great camp there. He said rebuilding the whole way after the injuries, the operations. A gym behind him, renewed vigor, heightened power. An explosive fight tonight. On the flip side, though, Shea Patton, very optimistic. He loved being the away fighter. He said, look, I've always been the away fighter, and I love the opportunity to travel for this.
Yes, and he's a Derry man from home in Ireland, and he's training and fighting out of Liverpool, so he's well used to being in other people's back gardens and fighting.
Promising 3 rounds, potentially, of technical elbows. All legal. The fight of the night, that'd be a bonus, said Shea. Now, how's this for legal talk? He was a lawyer, of course. I'm 13 Red Bull cans tall, he said. I don't know about specifics, but that's courtroom specifics.
I'd love to know the day he realized that. How did he do it?
How did he do it? Good energy here is Patton on the inside, lunging with a jab, looking. Oh, he ate one. He ate one. Patton got hit. He literally ran straight into it. That was a lovely connection from Frank Mulley. That was a gigantic connection. Kieran.
Oh, I heard that thump from here, Chris. I don't know if you did too, but that was a hell of an elbow. The eyebrow split open of Shea Patton now. Frank Mulley needs to attack that eyebrow now. Needs to split it open and make that blood go over the face of Shea Patton, but Shea is woken up from that.
Shea was hurt very badly. There was a very clean technique. Frank Mulley pounced on him. I mean, that's 3 months of training in Phuket on the pads.
Yes, it is. And that's probably a couple of weeks off with a swollen elbow. That's how heavy that was. But Shea doesn't seem too phased by it, which is nice to see.
Good elbow on the inside off the pommel there from Frank Mulley. He literally said pre-fight, I'm a nice guy, but I like to hurt people. And he certainly had that effect on Shea Patton. Patton again, left hand. Leaping in with the elbows is Mulley. Left hand again. Patton still standing. Here's a connection.
Frank smells the blood now. Oh, big shot! on the buzzer as well.
Shea Patton is down. Will he be able to recover? This one was booked for 3 and it's over in 1. Oh, Frank Mulley. He wanted again to not only make a statement but put in a performance, and he's done it. The youngster who committed to this game. Insane. Mulley wanted one clean detonation. That was his wish. He got what he hoped for.
He was, and I'm hearing about the corner saying there was 1 second left of the round, but I think the ref made the right call. Shea was on his last legs with that shot, and we forget the other elbow that was landed about a minute before. That was a tremendous shot by Frank Mulley. At the start of the round, I was a bit concerned. I was like, if this is going to be a 3-round fight, they need to up the pace. But it was that one shot. Bang.
Let's take a look at it. He literally ran right into the left straight. That was pretty much what was going down. It was a left straight, and then there was a leaping straight elbow, I think it was, he was attacking with. Frank Mulley.
That rattled his brain.
Big show of respect. Shea Patton, of course, very new to the sport, a newcomer. Like we said on the walk, very little to compare him to as far as somebody who went from N to A class that quick. But at the end of the day, you learn the hard way, and tonight is Frank Mulley's, and Ben Edwards has the verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 2 minutes and 59 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by TKO, Frank Mulley.
And there it is, Usher, Fernandez. Like we said, 2 excellent fighters bringing serious pedigree and a CV to boot. Fernandez out of Spain, Dublin, Ireland for Usher. 9-3, a little bit less experience. Like you said, Lara Fernandez vying for a 1 atom weight, I believe, Muay Thai world title, interim once upon a time. Has promised new power, pizza power. Which way will it go? Ben Edwards is ready to make these 2 walk.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next bout of the evening, which is a 5-round special attraction in the 55-kilogram division. Please welcome first to the ring, Pizza Power, Lara Fernandez.
From Korea, Del Rio, all the way down in sunny southern Spain is Lara Fernandez. Like we said, one of the great resumes in this building tonight, WBC Thai world champ, 2-time ISKA kickboxing world champ, 41 fights, and of course, as you mentioned, Kieran, the co-main event in Singapore once upon a time against Janet Todd, who is an absolute JT legend in the sport, former 2-sport 1 world champ. Now it's that fight that she said, off the back of a knee infection, it wrecked her camp. But, powered by pizza and a few other carbohydrates, she came back. That's who she is. Won her WBC world title up a division in the wake of a trouble camp too. You could say adversity and challenges are her home address. Ben Edwards.
And now entering the arena, please welcome Emma Usher.
The preparation the last 10 weeks has been literally perfect. I know I'm strong at literally put me in with any girl, any weight, and I know I'm absolutely ready for them and I'm strong for them. I want the biggest names there is, and I want to show the level I'm at. I was hungry for everything, so I think this is going to show the level I'm at, and beating this girl will do that.
And the woman who intends to take that pedigree and rejuvenation apart is Emma Usher. From Dublin. 9-3, ranked 9th in the world by the WBC. She is the only Irish female in history to enter those hallowed rankings. Usher paved the way as the first Irish woman to fight in the Rajadamnern Stadium in Bangkok. You'd have to go back 10 years, though, for the origin story. It began at 16, and it started at 0-2 as an amateur. Emma said, I'm going to pack my bags, I'm going to move to Liverpool, and I've got one clear goal. To do this full time, right that ship, and say to the naysayers, I told you so. Usher bet her future. She betted on that comeback, and after doubling down on herself, it's now 2 to 3 sessions a day, 5 days a week. Restaurant shifts at the weekend to pay for it all. And she fought in March, right here at Woolwich. Familiarity, that'll be to her advantage, she said. Looking to outclass with clean technique. A masterclass. Poetry in motion, she predicted. And knowing that there's a world champion in front of her, Usher could not be more excited for the opportunity and the uphill challenge at hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all set to go with our next bout of the evening, which is 5 rounds in the 55-kilogram division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. She has a record of 41 fights, 25 wins, 13 defeats, and 3 draws. From Spain, Pizza Power, Lara Fernandez. And her opponent fighting out of the orange corner, 12 fights, 9 wins, 3 defeats. From Dublin, Emma Usher.
The final instructions and a look of concentration between Lara Fernandez and Emma Usher. High stakes here, potentially 5th fight of the night. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on 8 Strikes. Chris and Kieran here with you. Expectations, Mr. Shanahan.
Well, this is a big fight for Emma. I'd say probably one of her biggest challenges to date. You know, Lara being WBC world champion, fighting on one against top-level opponents. It'd be great to see what Emma can pull out of the bag and what she's been developing for this level.
Pizza Power controlling so far. Lara Fernandez, known as a very balanced fighter. Excellent movement off the center line, fast kicks, attacking the body and the legs. Nice chop there with the right.
She works that chop very nicely off her teeps. I noticed that from her previous fights. She'll just randomly flick that leg up and come around the side. The lovely right hand from Lara. She's working her hands nicely at the start of this round.
Usher was pre-fight very focused about moving up the rankings here. Known for being a great kicker, like you said, Kieran. Doesn't always move her head enough, but looks great during fight week and very positive, highly relaxed. That mindset coming in is so important.
It is, especially when you know you've got someone like this in front of you, someone like Lara who's been there with some of the best in the world. She's shown great stability at the start of this round.
Check hook there from Usher. It'll be interesting to know Lara Fernandez nearly 12 months out against literally the fastest rising Irish woman in the sport today, arguably. And Emma Usher looking very good off the counter, but Lara Fernandez is, well, a well-schooled technician.
She is, and you can see how she's measuring Emma. She's measuring the threats that Emma's trying to build up for her.
Light on the lead leg are both corners. Dig to the body from Fernandez. Certainly neither overstepping nor overcommitting is Lara Fernandez. Of course, Emma Usher coming off that recent short notice fight in RWS. Lofty opportunities in the sport, she said, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be too much for a world champ tonight, and I'm not inclined to say it's a challenge I'll be unprepared for in any category. She's holding her own.
She is. They work very hard at Warriors Gym back in Dublin. Got some great rare fighters back there. You got Tom Keogh fighting actively on one.
Cian Cowley.
Cian Cowley's in the corner. That's her coach and owner of Warriors Gym. He's been producing some fantastic fighters back in the homeland.
Amber Jones is standing by. Amber, what's the latest?
So I'm sat here with Lonnie Kavanagh, and you are here to join us for 8 Strikes tonight. Is there anyone you're excited to see?
To be honest with you, no, I'm just looking forward to a night full of action.
It's filling up in here as well. It's not at its full capacity. What do you think of the production so far?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I got here not too long ago, but from what I've seen, it looks very professional. Everyone's hit. There's a big crowd, and yeah, some exciting fights.
You've come for like one of the main fights that everyone is excited to see. Obviously, Emma Usher versus Lara Fernandez. Lara's been on 1 5 times. Emma's been on RWS twice. Obviously, we're only in round 1, but what's your prediction?
Oh, I can't give a prediction just yet, but I'm enjoying the Muay Thai that's going on right now. It's very clean and very calculated.
Are you going to stay for the 4-ounce gloves? All right, thanks so much, Lonnie. Thank you so much.
And a moment to talk to Lonnie Kavanagh, of course, hot off a win over Brandon Moreno in a performance of the night in the UFC. We continue. Emma Usher, orange corner. Lara Fernandez, black corner. Black tape for Fernandez, white tape for Emma Usher. One of my biggest keys in this fight to look out for was game plan, game plan, game plan. And you know both really are going to bring that level of thought. How are you seeing it unfold?
So what I'm seeing with Lara especially is she was trying to keep Emma at range, but the odd body shot, trying to put that pressure on her every now and then. Whereas Emma was being very smart and counter-shotting a lot of her shots. Some of them landing, some of them coming off. So it'd be interesting to see now from round 2 onwards. You see Lara's being a lot more heavy on that front foot. And also Emma now as well. They're both feeding into the same game plan, I think, right now in the second round.
Good connection to the body there from Lara Fernandez, who certainly pulled no punches pre-fight about bringing her life into a new chapter. A year out injured, up now at 55 kilos. Like we said in the opener, gluten-free doesn't exist for Pizza Power.
No, neither should it.
I'll see you afterwards, man. We'll talk.
So we see now Emma's stalking the ring a bit more against Lara. She's putting a bit more pressure onto her, whereas Lara was doing that in the first round.
Lara looking for that blue-collar grind. Setting up off the lead hook or the jab. Not a lot of commitment necessarily beyond 1 or 2 strikes at a time from Fernandez.
No, and you forget 12 months out of the ring is quite a long time. So how much of this is she using to warm herself back up? You know, gauge that distance, you know, when is the right time to throw a shot? Because a couple of times she's thrown a shot and she's misbalanced herself.
Usher boxing very clinically, looking very good, landing 3 or 4 punches there. Fernandez does such a good job of actually leaning back and kind of rolling around in the pocket. There's a real art and guise to the whole process.
I think the distance management is such a big key factor for Lara's work.
Like we said, one for the purists. Great technique, good catch. Even Fernandez moving her head off the center line when she chambers, when she throws. Usher just happy to kind of half step forward and look for opportunities.
It's very tit for tat at the minute, with moments of work between them.
And sometimes in a fight you catch the rhythm and it's you go, I go, you go, I go. You're a coach, you're a fighter. At what point do you try to break that rhythm?
I think once you have them first 2 exchanges where you've kind of gone me to you, then once it comes back to me, you have a choice. You either engage in the middle of that exchange or it ends up becoming they finish that exchange. That's where you got to be careful with 8 strikes or with the Thai boxing flow of fighting, that you don't get caught on the end of them exchanges.
Now, taking a look at what's transpired so far, quickly to remind you, it's going to be kind of 0-0 at the start, and slowly winning a round wins you 1 point. We have seen no knockdowns. How do you see it? I'm going to ask a tough question. Close rounds.
Very close. I mean, I'd hate to have to try and put a number between them, but if I was to be even, it would have to be 1 each. I think Emma showed a lot more progression in that round. Lara showed a lot of control in the first round. So I would say 1 each for now.
Quick reminder about the rule set. basically, the fighter awarded +1 point has the opportunity to gain another point with a knockdown, as can the opposing corner. High impact damage, number of knockdowns, clean strikes and damage done. Then ring generalship and aggression, spectacular techniques. Those are what the judges are looking for. 3 of 5. Lara Fernandez, Emma Usher. It's been a slower paced fight than I anticipated, but I think a very respectful affair, a cagey affair inside the squared circle.
Of course, because both ladies know exactly who's in front of them. They're both high risks for each other, and one lapse of focus can cost them, and they're two big names.
A fight that promised some tenacity, of course, and 41 fights of know-how against a decade-long bet on the farm, really, for Emma Usher to walk away from everything and leave home. Good boxing here from Usher. Usher trying to avoid the return there from Lara Fernandez. And that's the tricky thing. You never, if you're a high-class fighter, you never give away anything for free.
No, you don't. There's always a repercussion. And that's how it should be, because once you give one thing away for free, that's where the build-up, that's where the boat starts rocking with Thai boxing, with 8 strikes, you know, because there's so many weapons involved that you cannot let something go. What's really good about Lara as well is her teep. She's not been using it so much. I find her a bit more aggressive in this fight, but her teep, there we go. She pops it up out of nowhere and stabs into the lower belly. It'd be nice to see her start using that fake teep. So once she's thrown 1, throw 2, raise that knee up fake, and then set up the hands.
Usher backing off now in this round, searching for an elbow, connecting with the teep. That was a lovely look for an elbow again, but Lara Fernandez senses opportunity. It is that kind of sixth sense, isn't it, when you know you really need to go and you can kind of read on your internal clock. I'm 2 minutes down. There's not a lot that's happened in this round in a close fight. That's when autopilot kicked in for Fernandez. She pressures and lands kicks in a fight that could be down to thin margins.
Yes, and what we're seeing is a more traditional aspect of this fighting form, because usually when it gets to round 3, 4, and 5, the fight elevates at 4 and 5. They're like the money rounds, as we call them. So I think what we're seeing is a more traditional side of, you see round 3 now, they're picking up to a nice pace.
Can you actually embellish on that point? I'm going to implore you, Mr. Shanahan, because I think this fight really does embody that. Tell me more about that tradition in Thai of, you know, the betting and the easing into the fight and so on and so on. Not that that's necessarily going on here.
Of course, no, but with Thai boxing, Muay Thai, whatever you want to call it, the art of 8 limbs, there's a structure to the fights. When you go to Thailand, they usually have 5 rounds, and the first 2, if not 3 rounds, are quite slow paced, very much reading, very, very controlled, all about betting in the crowds. Then when it gets to round 4 and 5, that's when you see the fight elevate. That's why when 3-round Muay Thai came, it was like a big change. It was a massive change to the sport. You see, just recently with Frank Mulley fighting Shea Patton, the pace is a lot different compared to what you see here with this 5-round fight. However, these are 2 very experienced Muay Thai fighters, so they're going to fight the smart, strategic way. You see the difference with Josh Gravesande and Durrani, very experienced Thai fighters. They fought a different pace, a very fast 5 rounds.
What's he telling Usher? Because I think Usher knows what could go down. You know, it could be 2 apiece. It's tough to say. Sometimes confidence can be high and sometimes it can be low.
Yes, exactly, and I think exactly what he's telling her is to be sharp on countering Lara's shots, because when she builds momentum and gets Emma to the ropes and puts pressure on her, that will get good scored effectiveness. So Emma needs to be on top of that, like this. There we go. See, she's on it. She's on it, and she's matching that power. Like we said, Lara was talking to Emma with her work, saying, this is what I'm going to bring to you, and Emma's just come out and said, no, I'm bringing this to you now.
Fernandez feeling that extra additional inch or 2 of forward movement off every single combination as Emma Usher looks to brand this fight with some assertiveness. The rejuvenation, from Fernandez, moving up in weight, all that time off, maybe too much time off, like you said. It ain't easy to take a fight against Usher. You know, there could have been a tune-up fight, but neither fighter wanted to walk away from an opportunity or indeed a challenge.
No, but that also shows the levels of both ladies as well. It shows what they want from the sport. They only want to fight the best people.
Look at the exit there from Fernandez. The way she just kind of leans back. You know, some will look at that and say that's poor technique, but that's just outstanding, the way that everything remains vertical below the waistline, and she just kind of moves right back in place.
It's like, imagine you're trying to do the Matrix but staying into the fight, you know. That's exactly what I call a lean back.
You kind of look like Keanu Reeves with that hairdo tonight, kid.
Get me my black sunglasses and I'll show you.
I got a pair right here. Oh, down goes Fernandez. Was that a slip? Yes, it was.
So it's great to see now the change of pace that Emma is now leading the way. Towards the end of that last round, we've seen Lara put the press on, but Emma's come out. And she's controlling the fight right now. Good teep.
Very selective on the punches and kicks is Emma Usher. Lara Fernandez looking to tee things up. Lovely 2-3-10. That's good work to the body. Fernandez needs to get busier. We really didn't see much beyond 2 strikes at a time in the first couple of rounds. But like you said, in traditional fashion, in traditional Muay Thai fashion, it's about upping the ante. It's about closing down and really asserting yourself in that final round or two.
It is, and I don't know if the game plan with Lara is to attack Emma's body, because in this round particularly, she's hitting Emma's body hard. Does she see that she's tired? I don't know. I'm seeing Emma's breathing a lot heavier through her mouth. So maybe Lara allowed that burst from Emma to then go, right, I'm going to put it on the body shots at the end of this round.
Good right cross. Plenty of action here coming from Fernandez. She predicted there could be more power, certainly more in the tank from Lara Fernandez. Amber is standing by. Who we got, Amber?
I'm sat here ringside with Amelia Azarova. Now, Amelia, I know you're a fighter. On the show tonight, we're seeing the introduction of 4-ounce gloves. What do you think about coming on the show and fighting in those 4-ounce gloves?
It makes me just want to get in that ring, because all I've ever wanted to do within the past year is 4-ounce gloves. I had a little bit of a rough start this year, but I'm getting back into it. But 4-ounce gloves is what I want to do.
Charlie, you heard it here first. Who are you most excited to see tonight, or which fight has been your fight of the night?
So fight of the night, so the fight I want to see is definitely the 4-ounce gloves fight, because, you know, that's what I'm more interested in. But fight of the night's definitely been
Josh.
Yes, Josh. Yes, I was thinking about the name. I was like...
Amazing. Thank you so much, Amelia. We're jumping back to the fight.
Woolwich Works Arena, make some noise!
I forgot his name. I just said it.
We're ready for our final score reveals. Lara Fernandez, 3 rounds. Emma Usher, 1 round. All to play for. Let's go!
The open scoring has been revealed. Now, this is where 8 strikes makes it very interesting. We've seen it previously. We saw the scores. We saw really what was a Hail Mary, and we saw him close the show. Now, the question has to be said. Lara Fernandez up 3-1. What's going down with Usher?
Well, I mean, Usher will need the stoppage. Something's up with her glove.
Yeah, chips, burgers, and all that kind of thing.
Wardrobe malfunction, I think.
No, I might skip it. Can you have me a coat? Okay.
Emma Usher not happy, possibly to do with the hand wraps. Tough to say. But either way, that's the big change, if you will, from traditional Muay Thai, is that we have open scoring, traditional Thai rules, but 8 strikes bringing you all the drama going into the 5th and final here. And will we see a surge in urgency from the orange corner? Or will it be the dominant control and calculated approach of Lara Fernandez?
You know, I really like being told who's up in the 5th round. I think as a fighter, that really will bring the dog out, the person that, like I'm going to go back to it again, the Josh Gravesande fight. You know, You're told what the crack is, and you have a choice. You either go out into that fight and change it, or you don't.
I agree.
And I think we need to see Emma do something forward now. She has to really show that she wants it, you know.
Emma Usher backed off here, cornered.
But again, easier said than done when you got someone like Lara Fernandez in front of you.
And you can see Fernandez make those little adjustments. Like, she's not necessarily committed to backing you off with punches and kicks and knees and elbows. She's using her footwork really to just cut that ring. It's so effective. Oh, there was a solid left, though. Emma Usher found her target there. But the footwork from Fernandez, especially as it's bubbled in this fight, that's something to study. That's homework for you. And it's not glamorous. There's nothing that's a highlight reel that someone's going to post and do 150 million views on. But for sure, Lara Fernandez is a smooth operator.
She is, and you just have to watch the body language. When Lara moves, oh, that was a lovely elbow off Emma there, but when Lara moves, Emma's twitching. She's raising the knee, she's bringing the elbow down, so she has Emma preempting shots and has her worried about them shots, which is why she's getting big success on them straights to the face and then the body shots at the end.
Even the sneaky little short lead elbow there, and then back elbow, oh, it's just amazing.
As you said it, Chris.
Just outstanding. And even, you know, standing tall in the clinch, feeling some weight. There's lots of little techniques, lots of kind of invisible techniques. We talk about it in so many combat sports. There's lots of things you wouldn't see that don't necessarily have an individual pronounced effect, but Fernandez has those individual polish points, if you will, that's contributed to the performance.
100%. It's just ticking the boxes of the fight, you know. If you can't knock them, you got to tick the boxes. And that's what she's doing. She's going knee to elbow, hand position, knee, hand position. So she's always checking. She's never just laying and not making use of the position she has.
I love it. If you can't knock him, you got to tick the boxes.
Got to tick the boxes. But that was a fantastic fight display from Lara Fernandez.
Will it be Pizza Power Paradise, or will it be potentially a future at 55 kilograms? I think we already know the result. There really could only be one result given the open scoring. Look, for me, Emma Usher had good moments. I don't know if there was enough urgency apart from that last round, and it's tough, you know. It could have been 2-2 going into the fifth, but if you don't know, now you know going into the fifth, and that's the fight game.
You know, they both had great parts within the fight, but I feel like Lara just had them better moments more often. You know, Emma was never out of the fight. She was never out. She was always there. But I think Lara grinded her down. You know, as Emma started breathing through her shoulders more, I think that pace of making her twitch and making her react when shots weren't there was gassing her out slowly, you know.
It's exhausting.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Your winner by unanimous decision, the lady they call Pizza Power, Lara Fernandez.
Tail the tape, 67 kilograms, full tie rules. We go down to 3 rounds. We saw what happened before at 3 rounds. It could go down again. Lies Marinko, he is in and excited at the opportunity. Of course, we mentioned the opposition earlier. Harry Hercules Moore from the famous Lumpini Crawley Gym, 8-2. Marinko, 20-7, a little bit down on height. Let's take a look. It's North versus South, and Ben Edwards is ready to have these guys come out.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce the next bout, we've got the amazing Tilly in the ring, who is repping our exclusive 8 Strikes merch. So we've got hats for £15, the t-shirts are £25, and they are all available at reception at the front of the arena. So make sure you get your hands on the exclusive 8 Strike gear. Thank you. We're up and we're ready for action for our next bout of the evening, which is a 3-round bout in the 67-kilogram division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome Marinko.
Marinko, Algerian-born, fighting out of Leeds. 28 fights deep in this game, 20 wins. Literally by the numbers, one of the most experienced campaigners on this card, but the day job tells you all about the temperament. He works in a secure unit with young people, troubled people, people dealing with challenging circumstances. Lies actually lost both his parents at a very young age, but remains driven purely by passion. His actions do the talking. He's a man of very few words. We know he has skipped no corners and left no stone unturned in this camp, and is looking to be ruthless tonight.
And now entering the arena, Hercules, Harry Moore.
We've had Harry in our gym since he was 7. He's been one of the good kids. He's got a strong chance of going all the way with it.
Being so close to home, getting all the people down, it would be the world. And it just brings the fight. It makes it more exciting because you got all the people cheering and stuff like that. You're going to see a banger.
Make the more family proud, always.
The man planning to spoil all of those promises in the black corner tonight is Harry Moore. Happy. Hercules. As we mentioned, from Lumpini Crawley, he's been building since the age of 7 in those hallowed grounds. A gym known for technicians, as you said, Kieran. Training with George Jarvis, the 1 championship contender, cornered by his brother Jack now. 70-plus fights as a junior. The school of hard knocks. Well, that's where he grew up. The deepest of educations, really, of many of our athletes on the card tonight. There was plenty to talk about. An ISKA Intercontinental champ who won the road to WSF. RWS. How could I get that wrong? Rajadamnern World Series. He cashed it in, though, by debuting on the actual World Series. But it didn't work out. It was a heartbreaking loss. Against all odds, though, the best thing that happened to him, he said, it was good to have a loss. It was good to get my mind going again, he told us pre-fight. You just find out where your ceiling is when you fall and get back up again. After 7 months of living in Thailand, he's waltzed his way into this fight against a very, very dangerous and seasoned campaigner. Kieran, you promised a banger in this one. You said it's going to be a technical war. Could be one where both look to jump on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, reintroducing both fighters to the ring for this 3-round, 3 minutes round, 67-kilogram bout. Introducing first to the ring, fighting out of the black corner, 28 fights, 20 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw from Algeria, Marinko. And his opponent fighting out of the orange corner, 11 fights, 8 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw from Crawley, Hercules, Harry Moore.
Lies Marinko in the black corner, 27-1. Originally from Algeria, fighting out of Leeds. The only common denominator between him and Harry Hercules Moore in the orange corner at 8-2-1 is that they are both Chelsea fans. Lots of intensity here.
I've been really looking forward to this fight now, Chris, to be honest. As you can tell, the first 10 seconds had about 20 strikes landed there. This is what 3-3-minute rounds of 8 strikes is about.
Marinko looking to spin, looking to go high amplitude stuff. Lovely dodge there for Marinko. Hercules fires back. Hercules goes down. Oh my word. It could be an early one tonight. Hercules not happy. It was a disaster. RWS, the lessons he learned. The first 30, 40 seconds not going his way, Kieran.
Well, he's been throwing that head kick, Marinko. He's showing it. He has had head kick knockouts. So that right foot is to be feared of because it can swing up out of nowhere.
Tying up in the clinch. Possibly the right survival strategy from Hercules. So many junior fights, so many lessons learned. Oh, the boxing on the inside, though. He's got to be careful. He could still be a little bit rocked.
This is still a great side of Harry Moore to see because he's been fighting a lot of 5-round Thai fights. To see him in a 3-minute round fight shows he's there to scrap.
Good uppercut there. Lead uppercut landing. Double time now for Harry Moore. Marinko, though, is dangerous. Oh, yes! Yes! Again. Will it be a count? For sure. Harry Moore found the target.
I think they want to check.
Was it a headbutt?
I don't know what it was, but the blood is pouring from Marinko's face.
I saw an elbow, I have to say, but there was possibly some head contact in there. At the end of the day, though, Marinko completely on fire here. A man of so few words. He said, my actions will do the talking. Verbatim right now, literally waltzing forward, doing mega damage.
This is fantastic pace. They are trying to kill each other in there. I'm just waiting to see the next elbow to land. Because with the way these boys are fighting right now, any shot could drop him.
Moore eats a body shot. Moore eats a knee to the head. Wow.
Is that not a count?
I have no idea what happened there, but at the end of the day, Harry Moore gets a second chance. How many lives will he get? Literally, Marinko is dicing him up in the corner.
Oh!
Harry Moore goes down. That has to be a count.
Corner shouting at him to get up.
Literally has been hurt, kneed, elbowed, hit to the body.
Wow.
That was a wild fight, Kieran. That was literally a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. We hit the elevator drop 3 or 4 times.
What a round. What a round. That was probably the most intense round of fighting we've had tonight so far. And that was round 1.
And that's saying something given what we've seen tonight so far. Take me through the action.
Well, so we see the boys trading big, heavy shots. They weren't focusing on defending much, but that knee looked like it really hurt Harry, but he got away with the 8 count there, if I'm right. What we're seeing here, though, of both lads is they're going 100% output. There's a small bit of defense, and that's just trying to throw something whilst the other one's throwing.
Harry Moore, of course, coming off the RWS fight, he was literally hit clean with an elbow and then dropped by a body shot in the second round. Was looking good, was landing some kicks, but the opponent was so defensively sound and caught him. I have to say, though, Lies Marinko literally gave him hell for leather from the moment the referee said choke. I don't know what's going to go down next, but I think it's, what, 3-1 and 3-0 at a minimum right now. 2 knockdowns, probably could have been 3, plus the point for winning the round.
Definitely, so that's 1 round to Marinko. Oh my God, this is some fantastic striking.
Marinko searching for the body. Again, gets in the plum and in goes the knee. Is the referee going to step in and give a count? Was that low?
Supposedly that was a low blow. He's going to get his time. But I was watching the corner of Harry Moore and they were stating 12-6 elbow down. Chopped down Marinko's face.
The corner not happy about what transpired. Marinko is just aggressive. I've never seen him this aggressive. We looked at the tape, we talked about the predictions. He promised you will not get bored. He is delivering on that promise. There goes a left hook. Left elbow. Moore under pressure, has to try and
another
convert.
knee to the boy! His hands didn't hit the ground. His hands didn't hit the ground.
Oh, the referee has had to stop this fight. This fight is over, and both corners are not happy about what's gone down. Will there be a foul ruled, Kieran?
Me personally, from watching it from this angle, the fight should still be going ahead. His hands weren't on the floor. The ref did jump in, but the fight was active. When you got guys fighting at this pace, you have to put a wall between them to stop them.
Pandemonium here at the Woolwich Works. Harry Moore did not want to go out. Marinko had other ideas. This was always going to be a building of veteran economy against Moore's literal high caliber schooling and rebound path. He wanted it over inside 2 rounds. Moore had said, look, if I see an opportunity for a technical war, I'll take it, but I'd love an early KO. He may have fallen victim to that wish. He shakes his head, he's not happy. Here's what went down, there was the knee. Was he down?
We need to get that to replay again.
And the look on our eyes in the commentary booth was eyebrows raised. I'd love to see another angle on that.
Yeah, definitely. We need to see that replay again. I want to know what the judges think of that in terms of the if it was an illegal shot or not. See, I'm under the belief that when both hands hit the floor, you can't strike someone. Now, the ref did jump in, but you have to remember, he jumped in right when Lies was throwing that knee. So it's a hard one. Both lads showing respect to each other. It is the fight game.
Trained by George Jarvis, as we said. Such a high caliber, months in Thailand, and it fell apart tonight here for Harry Moore. Mad props to Lies Marinko, though. Ruthless, absolutely and utterly ruthless. A sniper in there. A sniper who wasn't even using a sniper rifle. He literally had a rocket launcher, a bazooka, a tank, everything lined up. Ben Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, due to a foul shot thrown by the black corner, your winner by disqualification, Hercules Harry Moore.
7th fight of the night, 8 strikes, 63.5 kilograms, of course the 4-ounce gloves. It is 3 3-minute rounds. Rio Johnson, Thristan Massobrio, the Iceman, he's in the orange corner. Johnson actually 7-0, 8-2 for the Iceman. It's an international, Italy against the UK. Ben Edwards is ready to go here momentarily to bring these fighters out. Which way will it go? A little bit of height advantage for the man from Genoa. But Clacton on C has answers, and will it be an answer in spades? We talked about the Royal Flush potentially being on the table tonight. Ben Johnson is ready. The co-main event of the evening here on 8 Strikes is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next bout of the evening, which is a 3-round special attraction in the 63.5 kilogram division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome Rio Johnson.
My name's Rio Johnson. I'm making my 4-ounce debut. I've not watched too much on him. I've watched a little bit on him. I think he's got a similar style to me, except I just think I'm a better version of it. I don't see anything special about him, but I know he's game for a scrap, so it's gonna be a good one. I'm not just doing it for my sake, I'm doing it to make it better for everybody else, you know. It's gonna be violent, it's gonna be bloody, and it's gonna be exciting. Nobody is stopping me getting this win.
Seven Nation Army for Rio Johnson. That's what the talk's about. He comes forward in straight lines only. 7 fights, 7 wins, ISK English champ. A style that he had summarized as total aggression, total pressure. A cauldron of the perfect recipe tonight that will make him the perfect tenant, in his view, for this rule set. As you mentioned, Kieran Shanahan, it's going to be 4-ounce gloves with very little else to hold on to. There are no lifelines here. And as we also mentioned in the opening studio, his story has a heartfelt beat to it. Rio became a dad at 17. Before, he said he had no idea what to do with his life. Built that life inside the gym, where his now 6-year-old watches him learn, work, and grow. Leading by example, Rio said, I made the gym my job, my home, and I'm living the dream all at once. Away from it all, you'd actually be a little bit surprised to know he's a bit of a nerd. Superhero, Star Wars, whatever your preference. But tonight, it's going to be a saga of villain material. An early stoppage, according to Rio. We're about to find out as we walk his opponents in this first and historic 8 strikes matchup.
And now entering the arena, the Iceman, Thristan Massobrio.
Did you feel that you were robbed the last time you fought here? You should have won.
Yeah, I want to do better than the last time. I think I can do better. I have a fight camp in this fight. In the last one, I have only 1 week. I can do good.
Yeah.
And I hope we can do a good show.
And in this international co-main event, cue the Iceman from Genoa, Italy, Thristan Massobrio. He's known for being a little bit of a maverick inside the ring, a very fun and crowd-pleasing style. Indeed, becoming the WBC Italian champ. And once upon a time, 18th in the world. As Kieran mentioned, he was in the corner. In that March affair, Massobrio headlined this exact building against one of Britain's elites, Alfie Pierce. A razor-thin loss. It might have gone either way. 90 days later, he's back in business. And you know, he hasn't flown to London for sightseeing. It started in a garage in Genoa, boxing with his mates purely by chance. Fast forward a few years, co-main event in this 8 strikes fight. Ben Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all set to go with our next bout of the evening. 3 rounds in the 63.5 kilogram division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner from Clacton-on-Sea. 14 fights, 7 wins, 7 defeats. Please welcome Rio Johnson. And his opponent fighting out of the orange corner. 10 fights, 8 wins, 2 defeats from Genoa in Italy. The Iceman, Thristan Massobrio.
There's a lot to talk about here. English pressure, Italian supercar power. 4-ounce gloves though, 5-second clinch. If this new format needed a sales pitch, these two very well could be the prime candidates. There was respect yesterday, but tension in the face-off. And remember the count. If anyone goes down, it's 8 seconds, not 10. Both fighters start 0-0. We'll walk you through it as it happens. 1 point for the round winner. Indeed, a further point for each knockdown. There will be a score reveal if we hit the final round. For Massobrio, indeed a strange brew of some pressure, he said, but really, actually, the limelight. The fans know me, he said, from last time, and they're going to remember me when I leave and upset this building. As we said, the small gloves changes the calculus. You've seen it in the global rules. We've seen it across different promotions. There are a couple of other unique factors here. 8 strikes is happening for the first time in history right now.
Here we go. The boys are having a play with the hands at the stare down, trying to get the dominate inside of each other, but now they can do it. So there we go with Rio's style. He leaps out of nowhere with a singular shot, and then you don't know if that's 1 or 20 shots that's going to land on you.
And there are 8 legal strikes: left and right punch, left and right elbow, left and right knee, left and right kick. 4 times 2. Good punches here and combinations on the return from Rio Johnson.
That was a fantastic check hook from Rio, but Thristan seemed to manage it fairly okay. Tying up, throwing some elbows. Has he cut Rio at the side of his head?
Massobrio smiles, sticks his tongue out, says, let's go. Rio spins again. Again, forced to take such responsibilities from a young age. Technically proficient, has displayed prowess in the ring. Massobrio nearly going airborne.
You gotta be so careful going backwards in these 4-ounce gloves. They are no joke. You need your stance to be strong when trading off with these. We've got blood coming from the eye of Rio Johnson over his right eyebrow. Oh, big shots thrown from Thristan.
That's a good couple of slips there from Rio Johnson. Massobrio, though, can fight that traditional Thai style. It's a spinning back elbow. Johnson does not look to be playing for overtime right now, Kieran.
Neither lads are going to get paid for overtime, and they're both showing that they don't want to be in there a second longer than they need to be. So we see Thristan coming with them elbows, as I was saying from the last fight with Alfie. He leap in with them and slice 2, 3, or 4 in a row.
Massobrio, very relaxed, very confident. We saw the stare down. It was quite an intense stare down yesterday, and there really didn't seem to be any substitutions when they went to the center just now.
They know exactly what they've come here to do today. They want to make an impression and want to stamp their mark on 8 strikes.
Again, fully limited clinch. 1 knee, as many elbows as you like for 5 seconds. There's a lot of things that can play out here. More pressure here from Massobrio. Forward footwork. Good exit. That was a lovely series of footwork. And of course, obviously, as the elbows come in from both camps, there is danger at every twist and turn.
4 rounds, 8 strikes is basically like fighting with 4 elbows. I've always said it. When you put them 4-ounce gloves on, they harden your knuckles. So when you're piercing a jab, they feel it 10 times more. What I'd like to see is Thristan utilize his straight punches a bit more with that slight bit of reach advantage.
Massobrio, half steps forward, staying orthodox. Big spin again from Rio. The jab missed. He stepped in and charged up the spinning back elbow. Rio Johnson is cut very badly. I'm not sure what that came from. It's almost an innocuous cut, one we really didn't see during the highlights, but we are set for 2 of 3. Very briefly, the score. We don't know, obviously, but your verdict?
With the effect and the cut, I'd say 1-0 to Thristan because of the effect and the cut.
Good pop here from the jab. 1-2 comes back from Rio Johnson. Looks for the hook. There's forward pressure. There is a test for the center of the squared circle, and around the ropes they dance continually as Rio Johnson looks to unload.
I must say, when they get close to each other, it's like watching knives flying in the air. It's like they don't operate in punching combos in close. It's just tuck the hands to the armpits and let them swing.
Johnson trying to play against the volume guy here, and at the end of the day, it's that footwork that might set up one of those spectacular techniques which do score. The judges are looking for it. Quick reminder in order, we're looking for damage, number of knockdowns, of course. The clean strikes landed, aggression, and ring generalship. All of it matters here in 8 strikes. And leaving nothing to chance is Massobrio as he continues to dissect this operation.
What you'll find Rio is very good at, when they get close into that clinch position, what he will instantly turn his opponents, pulling them, almost dragging them to the floor, like we saw in round 1. Big body shot from Rio Johnson. Did that hurt the Italian?
Out of BKK, of course, a gym known for MMA, boxing, Thai, BJJ. Had a lot of notice for this fight. Johnson said, I've had one of the best camps because I knew the challenge. but Massobrio has come to do business. I mean, he is more aggressive, dare I say, than I saw in the last fight. But it would make sense given the change of rules in the playing field.
When you put them 4-ounce gloves on, it's a different ball game. But we've seen similar styles fit with the boxing gloves tonight, which has been nice. That front foot pace, heavy boxing. Oh, that body shot. I think that hurt Thristan.
Rio Johnson had some magic to the breadbasket. It was a clock to the back of the head. He's going to have to be careful there. But at the end of the day, Rio Johnson has found the target. He has found the sweet spot. Not a huge effect on Massobrio, known for being a toughster, of course, but Johnson continues to try to really find that home run and knock it out of the park.
He is, and you can see him. He's letting Thristan stalk into him like he's setting up a trap.
Johnson spins. Like you said, really doing damage as Massobrio walks on to potential catastrophe and hazard.
He is, but Thristan is there. That body shot is, I think he's in fear of that body shot. Not in fear, probably the wrong word, but he's respected that body shot now. The body's been weakened by Rio.
Another round. The story may be a little bit different. You're going to go Rio, 1-1?
I would. I'd put it to Rio because I'd say his exchanges had more success than Thristan.
All right, Woolwich Works Arena.
Woolwich
Works Arena, it's time for the score reveal. The scores are 1-1. 1-1. It's even with 1 round to go. Woolwich Arena, make some noise!
So we've just found out it's 1-1 scores. So now both fighters know going into the 3rd round, they have to leave it out. One of them has to come out victorious. They will come out victorious. But I think we're going to see a lot more slicing and dicing going into this round 3. We've seen a lot of it in the clinch, but we also seen Rio smacking the body off Thristan in that 2nd round.
Remember, next fight's the winner, so make sure you get behind both fighters for this final round.
Who's going to drop
go.
first onto the knees?
Well, unofficially, we had that 1-1 as well, so it is a unanimous position here between the commentary bench and the judges. Of course, open scoring in effect. That's part of 8 strikes. That's part of the recipe. Thristan Massobrio in the orange corner with that orange tape around those 4-ounce gloves. In the black corner is Rio Johnson, who knows it is a tie affair. It is even Stevens right now. Johnson spins again, goes 360, downward elbow.
Is the win going back to Italy, or is it going to Clacton-on-Sea? I don't know, but Rio Johnson is putting that pace on forward. Thristan is not really coming back with much. I think Rio needs to bring that pace again, because when he does, Thristan is on that back foot. He doesn't have much to give off that back foot.
Oh, nasty elbow there up the middle again. That's one of the loveliest techniques I think that Rio has, is every single time he swaps his feet or changes stances, there's an elbow loading up.
There is, but he collapses on it very well. He could be in any stance, as you said, but he'll find, I don't know what his shoulder is made out of. Big spinning back fist. But yeah, his shoulder must be made of Play-Doh, because he can move his shoulder in ways that I've never seen before.
Well, there is certainly a lot of jeopardy right now.
Blood pouring from the face of Rio,
who has done very well to minimize the impact of that cut, which looked a lot worse on the close-ups in between rounds 1 and 2, but it's not really had a massive effect right now, and there are seconds. The clock is ticking here. Under 2 minutes, approaching the midway point of this round, and Johnson and Massobrio continue to duke it out at close range. I mean, there has literally been, and there was a promise, you know, fighters always talk and promise. There has not been any attempt at retreat.
No.
From either corner.
And even if there is, there's something coming. It's not like they're retreating and doing nothing.
Stiff jab lands from Rio Johnson with a short fencer's jab. And you can see Massobrio just bite down on his gum shield after taking such impact off that left hand.
It's amazing now we're coming into the last minute of the fight. Are we going to see a knockdown? I would love to see one, but I don't think either lads will give it.
45 seconds to go.
The opportunity
Let's go,
to engage here as we literally
Bring the
run towards
noise.
the finish line. There is a checkered flag somewhere, but both fighters are trying to find daylight here and make some sense of what has been a razor-thin contest. Massobrio continues to look for something upstairs. It's the body shots coming in from Rio Johnson, and indeed that hefty jab where he plants his lead. Rio does so well.
Rio Johnson's corner is telling him forward,
We're in the last 30 seconds. It's all to play for. Come on, Woolwich.
By Johnson. Deep breaths. This is for all the marbles here. The co-main event. 8 strikes.
10, 9.
Literally as
8,
advertised. Seconds.
7.
The referee says
6.
more. The referee
5,
does jumping jacks.
4.
Massobrio.
3, 2.
Johnson.
1.
Falling to an embrace here at the Woolwich Works. This venue is full, and it is full not only on the seats, but full of applause for a thrilling co-main event.
That was amazing. The 2 gentlemen inside the ring sold that fight, and they delivered. They put it into perspective that they were going to leave it in there. And what I loved about it is in the build-up, they respectfully were telling everyone, this is what's going to happen. And it is going to happen. And it's just been shown to us tonight. I'm going to ask you, Chris, who would you have given that pointer for that round?
Johnson.
I feel you on that one.
You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
I love it.
He came at that higher pace on the front foot, you know, and he just delivered that. You see the blood pouring from Thristan's face.
Well, Massobrio, like we mentioned, with the fascination of superheroes and Star Wars for Rio Johnson, has his own pursuit. That's sneaker collecting. I have to say, though, there could be one more thing to add to the collection for both orange and black, and that could be fight of the night. That was just an outstanding back and forth fight, especially with it tied. You know, it was obvious what the situation was going into that final 3 minutes. And there is blood on the canvas here as Massobrio almost does the moonwalk and slides forward.
Just blood skating.
Blood skating, yes, yes. Ben Edwards, he must know the numbers. He must know the verdict. Let's make it public and official.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for both fighters, please. After 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. Your winner by unanimous decision from Clacton, Rio Johnson.